Download the Sactown Sports app today and get in on the action. Your local sports leader, Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Capital Casino is conveniently located in downtown, 411 16th Street, and has been a part of the greater Sacramento area for over 20 years. They offer the best variety of games in the region in a safe and friendly environment, and there's plenty of parking, all well lit and monitored by security. Come have a great meal at the cafe and restaurant inside. Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. But please always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, this is Jelly Roll. As many of you know, my song Winning Streak is about my own personal struggles with addiction. I first sought help for my addiction at 14 years old. Start your recovery journey. Choose a proven addiction treatment option that's right for you at ChooseChangeCA.org. The real you is worth recovering. Choose Change California provides access to proven treatment options for addiction to opioids and stimulants. ChooseChangeCA.org. This is your chance to recover your life.
At Power Business Technology, we're not another big box corporation. We're your neighbors, locally owned and operated. We know what businesses like yours need, from reliable printers to high-performance copiers. We'll help you find the right solution with personal service you just can't get online. Need setup or support? We're just down the road and always happy to help. Power Business Technology, family hometown service with big-time solutions. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Card collectors know there's nothing as special as a rare one-of-one card. And now you can hear a very rare one-of-a-kind sports card show right here on Sactown Sports. Whitey Gleason here inviting you to join me and Mr. True Sports Cards himself, Imran Pilati, for the True Sports Card Show every Saturday morning at 10 on Sactown Sports. It's the only sports card radio show in the nation. For all your hobby needs, get to True Sports Cards, 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland. And for hobby, insight, and fun, join us for the True Sports Card Show Saturday mornings at 10 on Sactown Sports.
Country in the Park 2, presented by your California Army National Guard, October 23rd at Heart Health Park at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Russell Dickerson, plus more. Enjoy line dancing, live DJs, mechanical bull, and food trucks. Tickets start at just $70. Country in the Park 2, October 23rd at Heart Health Park at Cal Expo with Michelob Ultra, the California Office of Traffic Safety, and Caltrans. More info at CITPFest.com.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the Drive, baby!
The Drive Guys, Kevin Gleason and Alan Stiles. It's drive time with the Drive Guys.
What's not to love about Darius Acuff? Well, maybe you should ask a Nets fan. Have you seen this, Alan? I know you spend more time and energy on social media, to your credit, than I do. But I've noticed a lot of Nets fans after yesterday are expressing a little bit of anxiety over the fact that even though Michael Brown Jr. did some nice things, some Nets fans are starting to worry that maybe they missed on Darius Acuff.
Yeah, I saw that. I also saw Nets fans trying to do the opposite and kind of hate on Darius Acuff. I believe it was King's Muse, and they said, hey, why didn't you post his turnovers? Why are you even on the King's Muse account? Like, what are you doing? Like, I know we were connected to the Nets for a while because they were, drafting 6 and we were drafting 7. But it's over now. Go worry about your own stuff, right? Don't worry about what we got going on over here.
It tells me they're a little nervous.
I think so, too. And I know he played, Michael did last night. Like you said, he did some good things. We didn't get to see the matchup with him taking on Darius Acuff. I think that would have been a lot of fun. So I know you're out here in Sacramento and in the Bay. We don't have a relationship with you anymore, right? That was fun leading up. Oh, are we going to have to trade up? That's over now. Go kick it with Michael. okay? I love the jump shot. Don't get me wrong. Go pay attention there. We don't need you coming into our space trying to tell us trying to tell King's Muse what to post about Darius Acuff's game. Are you out of your mind?
Mm-hmm.
Are you actually out of your mind? Give me a break, Whitey.
Anxiety will do that to people, make them a little jittery.
Right.
Disturb their focus a little bit.
But the crazy part was, it was, I guess, decided for so long, right? This was not really a question mark on draft night. Everyone knew there was a small chance that the Nets, we knew that the Clippers wouldn't. There was a small chance that the Nets surprised some people and go with Darius Acuff, but all of the mock drafts and prognosticators, they all said, no, they're taking Michael Brown. Okay, well, have fun.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't got nothing to do with us. We over here chilling.
By the way, speaking of the draft, and we'll get back to the Kings game last night and the significant things that happened, even though it was Summer League, I actually got a call from Coach Reynolds today as he was on his way up to Tahoe, and he said, I just wanted to tell you, you were right about Peterson.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, not just, and here's the thing, the skills, we understood that those were there. I know some people kind of wanted to go back and forth because, what was it, during the March Madness, it didn't look great, but his mentality, it's like he literally flipped a switch. He's talking about, oh, yeah, I know Cam Boozer, went after me, so I wanted to make sure that I did this and did that, and I'm a killer and all this stuff. Who is this guy?
Yeah, well, also, Jerry Reynolds was saying, why didn't they play him on the ball at Kansas? They played him off ball, and you watch him now, it's like, man, he's running the show.
Yeah.
Now, I also asked Jerry about, my feelings on the Paul George, Jaylen Brown thing, and he said, no. Full disclosure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm
he
not
didn't,
with
he
you
didn't
on
think
that,
the Celtics won that one?
No. Apparently he's not really high on what Paul George brings to the party. But anyway, I thought that was interesting, not only, that he said that, but just it underscores how well, in only 2 games, Darren Peterson is opening some eyes.
Literally. And I'm seeing, and what's so funny, the same way we talked about it when we thought we were still in the mix, those Kobe comparisons are popping up again, aren't they?
Yes, but I'll also say, last night we really saw, in my opinion, Acuff and what a good shooter he is.
Yeah, I mean, that step back with the time winding down, and saw some people bringing up, hey, he's going to have to understand that these defenders are a little bit longer. I know he played in the SEC, but it's the same way when you're talking about going from college football to the NFL. Hey, when you're watching these highlight tapes, right, and you're wondering, hey, why doesn't this quarterback look as good in the NFL as he did in college? Well, that's because the wide receiver opened by 5 feet, and that just doesn't happen very often in the NFL. Acuff, a lot of the space that he had, even in the SEC, I know they had a bunch of teams in March Madness, you're just not going to have that type of space, and you saw his shot get blocked a couple different times.
Yeah.
So he's going to have to learn from that, and I think he did learn from it.
Summer League, it gets worse.
That's what I'm saying, but I do think that he recognized that throughout the game in itself, and towards the end of the game when he got to that step back, he was starting to realize, all right, I either need to get this thing off quicker or I need to make sure I have a little bit more space, and it was just nice to see him learn while the game was going on.
Vivek Ranadive actually spoke last night. We'll get to that at the bottom of the hour. That was interesting that he publicly addressed Kings fans.
Yeah.
Can I ask real fast, as someone who didn't watch the game and didn't even partake in it, honestly, without take the radio host hat off, did he say anything?
Vivek?
Yes.
Well, we'll get to that.
So he said something.
No.
Okay.
But it was the way it was framed. It was interesting. But no, I don't mean to suggest, whoa, you got to stick around to find out what he said. But it's the first time he has said anything.
Yeah.
He did give some indication about where this may be headed or what the team identity is going to be, but we'll see. We'll see about all that. Markel Sutton, though, was a big story last night.
Oh, my goodness.
If you can have a big story in your third Summer League game, and I know a lot of people were trumping up the fact that 3-0, whoa, look out, they're undefeated in the California Classic. But Markel Sutton was a story last night.
I mean, it was just phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal, Whitey. 4 of 8 from three-point land. I was doing some digging on him last night while watching the game. Shot it at 30% from LSU, but every year he played, he literally just had to shoot more. So the kind of scouting report on him is they call that an improving shooter, going from his freshman year, he's shooting 1 a game at 20% to by the time he left LSU, I believe he was right around 3-pointers a game.
Where did he go before Omaha?
It's a super small school. I don't know that it was Omaha, but I mean
Omaha.
I mean this dude to me is, I know he's older, but this dude to me is the classic, hey, let's get him. If you can, I know we got to figure out the two-way situation, but if you can get somebody like that and just have him in Stockton, wherever, and just let him work and let him kind of continue to develop, I would love that, Whitey. I really would. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I really would.
Yeah. Well, he's got a chance to earn an invite.
Yeah.
Camp, which is big for a guy like that.
Yeah. He's going to defend. He's like I said, the 3 ball, I don't know if he's going to shoot it at 4 of 8 every single game. Oh, it was Omaha.
Yeah.
I tried to tell you.
I know. I'm sorry. I should never question Alan Stiles when it comes to prospects.
See? So a couple years. No, you had that right, Whitey. So a couple years at Omaha, then gets to the bright lights of the SEC to LSU, and I really like him. But here's my problem, and I'll be honest with you.
3 years at Omaha. One of them is a senior, then another year as a senior at LSU.
Hey, get your master's. Yeah. Do whatever you got to do.
Sure.
Do whatever you got to do.
Sure.
I like a lot of these guys. You know, I mean, I don't know where they cooked up, and I get it. You know, a lot of these guys, they've kind of bounced around a little bit, but I really liked a lot of the players that I saw last night.
Let me guess. You liked...
You know who?
Del Orso? No.
Yes.
Del Orso, yes.
But there was another
Mascari.
one. Oh, my goodness.
I know Alan Stiles. I watch these guys, Jada, like, Alan's going to like him.
You know, he can shoot it a little. He didn't shoot it great last night. But I liked what I saw out of Drake. Okay, Drake University. I liked what I saw. Whitey, I was trying to watch the game, but I'm busy looking up all these dudes as the game is going on.
Yeah, what did you like?
I like how quick he shoots the basketball. Okay, now, obviously, a guard, it's going to be kind of tough sledding for him. And I would put, like you said, I liked what I saw from Del Orso, but same idea. Del Orso at least can play the forward position. But, yeah, I just think that these guys, it felt like they had been playing together for a much longer period of time than they had been. Yeah. And Del Orso, only 22. Only 22 years old.
Well, wait a minute, because, your guy Sutton, if it's that important to how old they are, he's...
Well, I know that, but Sutton's also 6'7", 6'8".
Yeah, that's a Christmas cake that's almost ready to be consumed.
No. It's a little bit different, okay? So, and here's the thing. Mitch Mascari, he was already, I believe he was with the Stockton Kings. So he's not necessarily new. Yeah, he played 2025, 2026 with the Stockton Kings. He took 5.6 3-pointers a game. You know what he was hitting them at, Whitey?
What?
41%, baby.
There you go.
So we got some action. We really do. And that's why, guys, we're so close to the next iteration. And I know a lot of these dudes aren't going to be in the NBA for a very long time, or however the case is. They can't all be success stories. I understand that. But it's just so nice to watch a young team. I don't care that it doesn't count. I don't care that, the other team might not have as many NBA guys. I'm just excited to watch a young team. That's what we've been robbed of.
I really welcome the opportunity to watch a team that might be a good shooting team. We haven't seen that in a while here.
No.
And it's very simple. We always wonder, what's the strategy here building the roster? And obviously there's a lot more to it than this, but they didn't shoot the ball well, and they went out and they got some shooters.
That's what they were supposed to do.
Yes.
That's what they were supposed to do.
Now, if you could just guard somebody, right?
Yeah.
One step at a time.
Yeah, they'll get to guard.
The guy who ran the defense last year no longer around.
Yeah, that's right. So Bobby Jackson
on his way. To me, it seemed like it was being couched in such a way as to suggest maybe it was mutual, but I don't know that it was. You know, because Bobby's got cachet here and he's beloved here. So maybe we'll find out more about that. Not that it's that important, but I just think it is important to be clear about what exactly happened.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting,
I don't think
right?
It's not like he left for another job.
Right. Well, and I think it would have just been, like you said, it would have been couched differently.
Yeah.
If, hey, Bobby, we would know.
Yeah.
Hey, Bobby's going back to Philly, or Bobby is, going to Toronto, whatever it is. I guess I wonder, when you have somebody like Doug, who is a defense first guy, right? Or that's what they have been telling us. And you have Bobby, who is in charge of the defense. Like I said, I know it's not football, but when there's a defensive guy, then you have the defensive coordinator. If you don't necessarily have the same philosophies, which I don't know if they did or not, I could see that being a reason. Okay, hey, we played basketball together. We played on the same team. That was great. Turns out that this dynamic isn't working as well as maybe we thought.
Yeah, that was just not a very good defensive team last year. I mean, I'm talking just about the defensive abilities of the players who were on.
Well, yeah, I'm not putting that much on Bobby.
I don't know who the greatest defensive coach is. You know, Tibbs, Bill Russell.
Yeah.
David Robinson. I don't think there's anything they could have done with that bunch last year defensively.
Yeah, I don't know. And we'll see where he kind of pops back up, because, these are these tough situations where you get an opportunity to jump up a little bit, and then when it doesn't work out, kind of got to recalibrate where you're at, because he was doing his thing. He was in Philly, and then he is able to kind of jump up a couple spots here, coming to Sacramento. I mean, I'm not saying Bobby was a disaster. I'm saying the season was a disaster. I don't know why any team would look at that and say it's on Bobby. So we'll just have to wait and see where he pops back up.
What about Team USA last night? World Cup. Disaster? You want to throw that word disaster around?
It was pretty darn close to a disaster. That play with the goalie to make it, 3-1?
7-1, whatever.
That was crazy. I think I had just got home, or, just getting settled in, and I look up and I thought the play was dead, because I'm thinking, why would you be doing something so idiotic? And then I realized, that's not a dead play.
Keith Smith from Spot Track, he's going to be with us today. He was tweeting about that. I guess I don't know if he played soccer, his sons play soccer, but he was livid about that play. So.
It was really bad.
Yeah.
Now, ultimately, doesn't matter if they had 2, 3, or 4, because USA couldn't get it done. Look, I'll tell you this, and we got In Style, Out of Style coming up at 3:30.
Oh, okay.
Okay? I'm sick and tired. We got to be real about this. And you know what? I know we joke about golf a little bit on this show. And what Team USA is doing, not even Team USA, but just America. And I know boss is probably saying, hey, Alan, let's be careful here. Hold on. I think we have to be better at just being honest, the fact that you're just not good enough at soccer.
Yeah, we have to be better at soccer.
You just have to be better.
Yeah.
Okay, and
we got a lot of ground to make up.
And the reason I bring up golf, I have a buddy, and I may have told you about him before, right? I have a buddy
I think you bring it up because to you they're the same. You kick the ball in both sports.
Well, if I need to.
Yeah.
Winter rules.
Yeah, right.
It's winter somewhere.
Right.
But I have a buddy, and he has never taken a lesson, right? Never taken a golf lesson. Now, when he's beating you, the first thing he says is, man, oh, yeah, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. When the wheels start to fall off, what does he say?
I never took a lesson.
I've never even taken a lesson.
Uh-huh.
And I feel like that's what's happening with U.S. soccer, right? We haven't made certain changes, and I know that a lot of the athletes are, and like I said, we're going to talk about it more in style, out of style. I know a lot of the athletes, hey, our tier 1 athletes, they're not playing soccer, right? So we haven't fixed it. If there is a way to fix it, people are talking about the prices and all this. So every year when you lose in the World Cup, what do you say, Whitey? Well, if we had our best athletes playing, we'd win it every single year. And I'm not even saying that that's not true, but we got to stop with that.
Yeah, I'm tired of the same narrative every 4 years. This is a year. They're great. They've made changes. There's, a few impressive showings, glimmers of hope. Then they lose in the round of 16 or so, which is
Yeah.
about where they are.
Right.
And it's like, oh, no.
Right.
I can't believe it.
Well,
it happens every 4 years.
Well,
what can you not believe?
Look at all the guys playing NFL. If they were playing soccer, we would win all the World Cups. I don't know. Maybe you're right. But can you just hold the L? Mm-hmm. Just hold it. Mm-hmm. Or I don't know, do something to push U.S. soccer to the next level. I don't know. But it's literally Groundhog Day. It's this cycle. And just like that happened,
I'm with you.
It's a coping mechanism. You lose, so then you say, well, these guys, 2 seconds ago, Whitey, 2 days ago, Team USA was the belle of the ball. Then they lose. Well, I saw someone say these are tier D athletes anyway. These are a bunch of bums anyway. Come on, man.
Campio says Styles' golf game equals USA soccer. Ooh.
Wow. You're not wrong.
Wow.
There's some glimpses. There's some glimpses, but you're right. Eventually, I don't have the requisite skill set.
You're a tier 4 golfer.
That's right.
If that.
But you know what? I'll tell you. Last time I took a random lesson in Palm Springs, I think I was 21 years old, right? My buddy took me on a golf trip.
Okay.
Yeah, and he said, hey, it was a big golf trip. They said, hey, we're all taking lessons, so we'll get you a lesson. Prior to that, I haven't had a golf lesson since I was 12 years old. But when I get smacked.
You just turned into the guy you were telling us about.
But I don't say that on the course.
Okay, you're saying it now.
No, but I got asked about my golf game. But Whitey, when I start losing, I don't say, well, I only had one lesson in the last 2 decades. In Palm Springs, I'm vacationing. No, I just wear the L. If I really wanted to be better, I would just go get lessons, which, Jay, we have some of our listeners that are big into golf. They've offered to help me. Some pro golfers have offered to help me, and I'm going to go to them because I'm not afraid of failure. And, they're these tier D athletes, if we had our best guys, Whitey, I cannot wait for you to hear what has cooked up. They've taken other athletes and just thrown them on the soccer team and said, if this lineup played, we'd win. We'd win.
I'll bet you Matt George would give you lessons. Would you want lessons from Matt George? Golf lessons? I bet you he'd be willing to help you out.
I think I'm going to go to the guy that Matt George goes to. I'm not gonna,
okay.
And
I really shouldn't speak for.
No, yeah. Matt's too busy. Mm-hmm. Matt's too busy.
Do you think anyone's going to watch soccer now? Last night, the announcer on Fox, I have his name here somewhere. I apologize. I'm not sure what his name is. But he was saying as the game was wrapping up, something along the lines of, is John Strong, pardon me. Well, you can still watch soccer. And people thought it was kind of a desperate plea.
Yeah.
Hey, Americans, no, you can still watch the World Cup just because USA is out.
It's a wrap. And that, I mean, even today, and the timing doesn't really help either. I mean, we're getting ready for the show, and I saw, obviously Argentina is playing. Now, right now, Colombia is playing. We're sitting here.
Comeback for the Argentinians.
It was a great game, and honestly, it's not because it's not Team USA. I just thought, it's 11 o'clock. I'm just not thinking about it. And I guess the difference is, guys, when you get to the deeper into the rounds, like March Madness, for example, I'm just not programmed for a game of that magnitude to be on at 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
I'm just not.
I think we will get MLS someday, unless we continue with the league that Sac Republic's currently in, and they become a rival of MLS. But a baseball team, I don't know about that. But soccer, I think there's Major League Soccer or whatever the equivalent is in our future in Sacramento. But Major League Baseball, I'm just not seeing it right now. Despite the very best efforts of some really determined and skilled people.
Is there a reason? Because you've gone back and forth on this. You had a source?
I can neither confirm
or
deny. And it has nothing to do with that.
Yeah, see?
It has nothing to do with that.
And he started the convo,
He sound
Jay.
like the guy, the golfer.
Well, I never took a lesson.
No, what I'm saying is not coming from anyone who has shared information with me. You're right. There's somebody who's been telling me stuff.
Right.
What I'm saying now is not coming from
It's just a vibe.
That person, I think, would probably strongly disagree with me.
Okay.
But, they had the press conference a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
What'd they call it again?
Sacramento pitch in West Sacramento.
And I think a big part of that was trying to find some investors. And I know it's a long play, but, we haven't heard anything. And also when you consider the future of Major League Baseball next year, it's a huge hurdle there. Baseball still has not even actually said, they haven't declared formally that they're going to expand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll see. Fingers crossed. But I think I'm just not seeing it. But soccer, yes.
Yeah. And hopefully,
and soccer's great as it is right now in Sacramento.
Right. And hopefully it doesn't feel like I guess for lack of a better term, a consolation prize if that happens, but they don't end up getting a baseball team. I don't know. That's why the whole presentation or the pep rally really is what we should call it. Yeah. Had a lot of people excited, a lot of people confused, thinking that it was over, that Sacramento was getting baseball. But we'll have to wait and see. Look, Team USA, you gotta make a change. You got to make some type of change, and that's the thing.
They say that every 4 years. But I'm not a new coach.
But here's the thing. See, this reminds me. Everybody turns into my father during the World Cup. Now, I didn't play soccer for a very long time. I played until I was 12 or something. But my dad, South Side of Chicago, the brother never played soccer in his life. But when your kid is playing it, now he knows everything, right? No, Alan, you got to cut the back way. I'm like, dude, you never even played soccer.
Did you actually ever say that or just think it?
I never said that to him. I said, yep, I was thinking to do that too, Dad. That's what I was thinking. That's everybody during the World Cup.
Oh, absolutely.
Everybody knows everything. What are you doing?
And part of it is we're the United States of America. We should be able to beat anybody at anything.
At anything.
Yeah.
At anything.
Uh-huh.
It's not. I don't know. It's not going to happen. Funny enough, my neighbor, his son is I think he's 14 or 15, but he just got signed on to, and I don't even know how this stuff works, guys, but it's the San Jose Earthquakes, like their academy thing.
Oh, okay.
And that's a huge deal. So he was telling me a little bit about U.S. soccer. I have another buddy with a son. He's about to be a junior, and they're telling me some of these pain points in soccer. But here's the thing: we've done this in every sport now. We do it in soccer every year. We did it in the NBA or with the World Cup or FIBA, even though U.S. got it done. Oh man. American basketball, it's getting squirrely. Mm-hmm. We did it with the World Baseball Classic. What's going on with American baseball? We do it in everything. Why don't we just stick to football? Just stick to NFL, because everybody is getting worried about every other sport.
Yeah, I wonder how long it'd be 80 years before Italy's football team.
Oh, yeah.
Boy, they can sure run the ball. We'd have a hard time stopping the run.
That's right. They got a quarterback that can spin it.
All these other countries now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if Jay had his way, that'll be flag football. Within the next quarter century.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. And that's growing too.
Mm-hmm.
Better be careful. But we do this in every single sport, especially in soccer, though. Mm-hmm. Especially in soccer. Come on, give it a break, man. Mm-hmm. Look, this is what everybody needs to do. Stop. It's over now.
Was it that they lost, or was it just the way they lost that people were so upset about?
I think so. I mean, obviously, we're coming back from work. But I think a lot of people were out and about. They're at Super Taco. It was a big deal, Whitey. Yeah. I was watching, the news over the weekend, and even kind of bars, restaurants out here in Sacramento, I mean, people were juiced up and really excited, and they really believed. And I think that's the main thing. The reason I believe a lot of Americans thought that Team USA had a chance was because they didn't really understand who Team USA had faced to get there. Mm-hmm. And from what I understand, Belgium, there's levels to this, as the kids say. So
you're comparing Team USA in the World Cup this year to the 2015 Warriors.
Well, I don't know about that. I mean,
I get your point.
They won some games against lesser opponents. Belgium, who a lot of people.
They're supposed to be old and slow, Alan.
Yes. Belgium, a lot of people are saying they're going to get their bell rung in the next round by, who is it, Spain?
But they just dominated.
That's the problem.
Right.
That's the problem. So maybe the Team USA, they were kind of, they were bad team merchants. That's what they were. They beat some lesser opponents. I think somebody said who they played early on were ranked in the 50s, and you get a taste of somebody in top 15, top 10, and you got blasted.
Yeah. So we saw that happen last night. And then if you watch the Kings game, you heard Vivek Ranadive speaking for the first time in many moons. What did he have to say? What does it mean for the Kings and Kings fans? We'll look at that when we come back to Sactown Sports. Don't go away.
After 2 seasons in Sacramento, the Kings have parted ways with forward DeMar DeRozan. With one of the team's top scorers and veteran leaders now gone, who will step up to fill DeRozan's shoes?
Your exclusive home for Kings basketball.
Sactown Sports 1140.
Hi, I'm Justin Gingery. One of the most common questions I receive is, what makes us different from other law firms? At Gingery, Hammer & Associates, we handle your case from beginning to the end. Whether your case reaches a settlement, whether it must go into litigation, or whether it has to go all the way to trial, we will be with you along the entire way. And because we are committed to your case, we are as invested as you are in making sure you get the outcome you deserve.
When you get an injury, just call Gingery.
And we're live from the living room as Doug eyes up the matchday spread. He's reaching for the Buffalo wing. Perfect! Hang on, what's this? Oh, he's gone for a can of Pepsi too! Incredible! What a finish! Sensational combination! Look at the delight on his face. There's no doubt about it. It just tastes better. Match days deserve Pepsi. Food deserves Pepsi. Grab a pack of Pepsi Zero Sugar for today's match. It's poetry in motion.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Capital Casino is conveniently located in downtown, 411 16th Street, and has been a part of the greater Sacramento area for over 20 years. They offer the best variety of games in the region in a safe and friendly environment, and there's plenty of parking, all well lit and monitored by security. Come have a great meal at the cafe and restaurant inside. Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. But please always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Want the best movie experience in town? Join Sactown Sports IMAX Pass by visiting SactownSports.com. Sign up today. You can win tickets to see this week's films at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
Download the app and listen to The Drive Guys.
The Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Alan Stiles.
On Sactown Sports 1140.
Yes, Vivek spoke last night, but what did he say? Before we get to that quick check here of the text line, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Hey, Stiles, are we calling Acuff untouchable yet for trades?
The most untouchable player on the Kings roster. Very good. Very good.
But everybody else
got price tag. Everybody else got price tag. It might not be as high or low to me as it is to all of you, but everybody else got a price tag.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about the money.
That's right.
The money.
That's right.
And as far as the problem last night for American fans, was it that USA lost or the way they lost? Rob M. says easily the way they lost. They didn't play anything close to how they played in the previous games, especially the passing. Yeah, they just got dominated. Yeah. I thought they got off to a really good start, but that's because I thought they were wearing white. As we were watching here, we had it on, with the sound off.
Yeah.
And I got the two sides a little confused.
You said, oh, Alan, or something. It was
I said a great save by the Belgium keeper.
Right. And I said, then why are they kicking a corner?
Because that was actually the American.
Yeah.
I mean, was under fire last night for much of the night by the soccer public.
Oh, yeah. And he got memed up and down, and a lot of people have been saying, again, not pretending like I'm following U.S. soccer, but that seems like that's typically the issue. The goalkeeper, I saw somebody say, until they get an elite goalkeeper, and
how hard can it be?
I mean,
I've told you.
What's the population? Somebody got to be out there.
It's not that hard. They kick the ball and you keep it out of the goal. Now, if I played soccer, I never played, but I know that, sometimes when you're not sure which way the guy's going, like probably twice out of 10 times I might guess wrong. Mm-hmm. Other than that, you're not scoring off me.
That's right.
Because I can see it's a big ball too. Soccer balls are big.
Yeah.
You with those big mitts you got and you keep it out of the goal. How hard can that be, Alan?
Well, I think the worst part is, and again, didn't really get to feel this too much as Kings fans the past season, but there's nothing worse than getting so excited for a match or a game and it just being an absolute stinker.
Well, you didn't feel this way because you weren't rooting for the Niners, but in some ways it reminds me of that 49er playoff game against Seattle.
Yeah.
Where it seemed like it was 21-0 before you even settled into your seat.
Right. Yeah, that's a good call. I'm trying to think some of the other as far as the Kings are concerned, obviously they didn't have to deal with anything like that. But
your baseball team, they give up like 6 in the first, and you're like, oh my goodness.
That was just the season in general. What happened to Team USA last night has been the Giants' season.
Oh, come on.
Yes.
Ramos had a big night.
Had a big night.
Yeah.
2 home runs.
And a Little League home run.
That's right. And a triple.
3 home runs. One of them was a Little League home run. I just hate that term. I'm sorry.
2 All-Stars, by the way. Logan Webb, Luis Ariz. I mean, I wouldn't have expected. Some people thought I know Logan Webb had a ridiculous May, but there were a couple snub remarks for other players as Logan Webb gets in, and obviously he had a bit of a rough start. Yeah, it is but it's been a weird season. I was going to say it's a little rough for a team like the Giants to have 2 All-Stars.
Unusual.
But that's what it's been.
Mm-hmm. It's been a while, hasn't it? It has been a while since Vivek Ranadive spoke publicly about anything. It was late in the year he was speaking to a reporter, an international reporter, right? Mm-hmm. Remember that? At a game, and he just said, well, we've just had too many injuries.
Right. He was on the court.
Yes. But he spoke last night to Mark Jones and Deuce celebrating his birthday, and he talked about the creation of the California Classic. And he talked about how, the fans are the greatest fans, which they proved again, and how he's excited about the young players. And he talked also about how the Kings will stand out from the rest of the league. And this was my takeaway. He said, I asked Scotty, which was interesting that he called him Scotty. I'd never heard that before. Oh. Yeah. I asked Scotty, he said, we're going to be the hardest working team in the NBA. Now, it's possible every team in the league says that. But that apparently is one of the mantras of Scott Perry and the Kings, and that's something that they are going to use as a foundation going forward. being one of the hardest working teams. And I think that just speaks to the type of player they're trying to bring in.
Yeah.
Dylan Cardwell's maybe the most glowing example, most obvious example of that right now.
Yeah. And I mean, I know we were joking about it earlier, but you can kind of see the types of players that they're bringing in. When you bring in somebody like Mobo, guys like that.
Yeah,
just high
that's
motor.
Another great example.
Yeah, high motor individuals. And then on the other side of it, we have our shooters. Just everybody has a role, right? And everyone is going to work the hardest they can in that said role. Going back to what this team has looked like in the past, it hasn't really been that. And, you bring in somebody like Zach LaVine, and we asked, well, what's Zach LaVine's role when they made the trade? Well, he can score, and he might play a little point, right? And yeah, yeah. So it's just, there's not, we're moving away from that. We are moving away from that.
That's not a great plan.
And
What's the plan? Yeah.
He can dunk. You saw him that one time.
You want to hear my crazy idea for the Kings next year?
Okay.
I'm not even suggesting this is a good idea. I don't know, but it's a thought I had today listening to Matt and Kayla.
Okay.
Okay? So if you don't like it, it's okay.
All right.
I'm not trying to say this is a great idea, but they were asking about Domas and what's his role going to be. Usually I like to run something like this by Jerry and see what he says before I unveil it, but I didn't get a chance to do that today because I hadn't thought of it when I talked to him. You got Max and you want him to play a lot, right? We agree on that?
Right.
Yeah. And you're going to probably have Domas unless you can trade him, and he's got to play. What about, but you're also hoping that you could move Domas. So what about, I'm asking, okay, what about Domas as like a sixth man? I mean, like the guy who comes in, like the energizer, comes in. That way, Max is the starter, and Domas has his role, and it's like sixth man. So he's going to come in, have an impact. At the same time, if you do have to move off of him, it's not that dramatic because you're not replacing a starter. Domantas Sabonis is a sixth man. Here he comes.
Are you being serious?
Yeah.
You're being serious?
Yeah, I'm asking.
Look, man. Between Mike Keegan take yesterday and this,
going bad as a unit.
It's a question.
I don't think that's gonna fly.
Like a Naz Reid. Naz Reid was a great sixth man.
I know. I understand what you're saying. I do think what I've learned though, from whether it's been Malik Monk or whether that's been DeMar DeRozan, even going back to Carmelo Anthony, that bench stuff matters.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it matters in the NBA world. And if you're trying to move off of Domas, bringing somebody off the bench who is making that type of cash, I just don't see how you can spin it. If you're going to do that, why don't you just bring Zach LaVine off the bench?
Well, you could. I mean, again, next year you're trying to win games. So, well, you're paying this guy this much money. Okay, we're paying all these guys a certain amount of money because we want them to help us win. So we're going to put them in the roles, whatever that role is, that's going to help us win.
Mm-hmm.
I just, like I say, I'm not trying to convince you it's a good idea. It's just a thought I had. Because you are, I hope you can at least agree with me on this, you're kind of in between with him because you're not committed to him long term. If he's there, you got to play him. You want Max to play. So I just saw it as kind of a hedge to address that. But he's going to end up playing a lot anyway. You're probably right. He'd probably be unhappy anyway with the situation. Then you want me to come off the bench? It probably wouldn't be something that he'd be happy for. Therefore, there'd be no point to it.
Yeah, the whole argument with going back to Malik Monk or whoever, you can make a case really for anybody to come off the bench. Whether that was the DeRozan conversation, whether that is now this Sabonis conversation, or like I said, Zach LaVine. I understand you're talking about Sabonis because you're prioritizing Maxime Reynaud, who looked great, by the way, in the international game that he played in. I think that might have been last night or 2 days ago. So I understand that. I'm just saying because Zach LaVine, like you said, you're kind of half in, half out with Sabonis.
Mm-hmm.
Zach LaVine thing is cooked. So it doesn't help because it doesn't help Maxime Reynaud play more. But you already know that relationship is over. So you can bring Zach off the bench.
By the way, TC says, what's so hard about that? That's great. That's how it should be, only if you honestly believe that, Whitey, and not just podcasting, all BS aside. No, I'm not. I knew it wouldn't be popular, so I'm not just saying that to have people say, you're stupid. I just looked at it as with the roster, and it's one of the things I thought about. Hey, that could be an option. I could see Domas, if he embraced it, actually being useful in that role, but I know it's kind of far-fetched.
So it would have to I guess it would have to be clear that he is coming off the bench to prioritize Maxime Reynaud.
Yes, but
and
also,
he is not a bench player.
Right. It's not, you're benched now. It's like, bro, we think you'd be a great six man. Six man, I think, used to be this more than it is now. That was a role. That's like, there were some great sixth men in the history of the NBA.
I just think that how it would be viewed, doesn't matter how you spin it, that would be viewed as disrespectful.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
I
just
think we went through that with DeMar last
right.
year.
And I just think it's this weird thing where once you turn into a bench player, I don't know. I think it's odd how tough it is to get back from that. So I think Domas would be saying no simply because I don't want to be viewed as a bench player.
Mm-hmm.
Because whoever, I know he's got 2 more years left on his deal. I mean, nobody, if he's good at it, that's a very specific situation. You're going to pay, somebody's going to trade for Domas, and you're sinking his value, I think, again. And somebody's going to trade for a $45 million bench player.
See, to me, if he plays well, you're not sinking his value because everyone knows he can be a starter. If he plays well, people are not going to say, well, he's a bench player now. If he plays well, his value doesn't go down.
Let me do you this one.
Can we do it when we come back?
We can do it when we come back.
All right. More on that when we come back. Also, how much will LeBron's next decision, how much is it really going to matter? That's next on Sactown Sports.
After 2 seasons in Sacramento, the Kings have parted ways with forward DeMar DeRozan. With one of the team's top scorers and veteran leaders now gone, who will step up to fill DeRozan's shoes?
Your exclusive home for Kings basketball.
Sactown Sports 1140.
And Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Annie's first oil change wasn't as hard as she thought because she went to AutoZone, where a friendly AutoZoner helped her find the right oil and save on an oil filter. He explained the job and showed her free how-tos on AutoZone.com. When she was done, AutoZone recycled her old oil for free. Get a free oil filter and more during the Celebrate Free event at AutoZone, now through July 27th.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729. Or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Annie's first oil change wasn't as hard as she thought because she went to AutoZone, where a friendly AutoZoner helped her find the right oil and save on an oil filter. He explained the job and showed her free how-tos on AutoZone.com. When she was done, AutoZone recycled her old oil for free. Get a free oil filter and more during the Celebrate Free event at AutoZone, now through July 27th.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Jake from State Farm. I just beat my running PR, so I'm celebrating with the Banana Bonanza smoothie.
Hey, and you can keep celebrating when you create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. Go bananas.
I will. Hey, make it a large.
Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-375-2922. 800-375-2922. 800-375-2922.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Will?
When I was 50, my whole life fell apart. I lost my job, I lost my wife, I lost the house, I lost pretty much everything except for my life. When the IRS came calling, I just didn't have it in me. I felt like Wile E. Coyote, just waiting for that IRS anvil to drop.
Then Will found Tax Relief Advocates.
I heard their advertisement on the radio, I wrote down the number, and I made the call that changed everything. The IRS gave me a bill for $40,000. Tax Relief Advocates got that down to $3,200. I've paid 9 cents on the dollar. Now that's a great deal in anybody's book.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Will did and call TRA for a consultation.
But for me, the real win is I got my life back.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-488-4194. 800-488-4194. That's 800-488-4194.
It is Christmas in July with the Sacramento Rivercats. Join us on Saturday, July 25th at Sutter Health Park for holiday fun, summertime baseball, and a festive night you won't forget. Celebrate the season early. Grab your tickets now at rivercats.com.
Your afternoon home for Kings Talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Yeah, people in the chat here talking about Domas, and I know I'd thrown out the possibility, what if he was a sixth man? It's not getting very far. I think it would work basketball-wise. I don't know if it's something that he would be on board with, but people are wondering, well, wait a minute, who's actually going to have the ball most? Who you're running the offense through? That'll be interesting to see the answer to that. But to me, I think we know it's going to be Acuff. I don't think there's any way that you're going to have Acuff on the floor and then you're going to run your offense, primarily run that DHO stuff through Domas. Whether you should or shouldn't, I don't know, but there's no way they're going to do that.
Well, I think that was it's kind of a version of what we talked about yesterday, and just the idea of playing Sabonis but not doing the DHO stuff because you want the ball in Acuff's hands, and we haven't seen. So we're both discussing changing Domas's role. It's just how aggressive do you want to be in doing that? That's really the biggest
thing.
And
Kimberly and perhaps some others have pointed out, wait a minute, remember Acuff said he wants to play with Domas, so let's let him play with Domas.
Right.
Hey, I'm not saying don't play Domas. Let's make that clear. You can like my idea or not. I'm not saying don't play him at all. That's not what I said.
Right. No, I hear what you're saying. I just, and we were talking about it off air, but I just think as far as basketball politics are concerned, it just wouldn't happen.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Not to say it should or shouldn't. I think the team is ready to move on. I mean, it's honestly a different version of the Zach LaVine thing before he had opted in. Well, tell him you're not going to play him, or tell him you're going to bench him. And I know you're not saying that, but hey, we can't trade you. We still have things that we need to that we want to achieve. And unfortunately, you're not a part of those plans.
Yeah. I think the key with LaVine this year will be whether he can be a catch-and-shoot guy. Because if he's on the floor with Acuff, he won't always be, but when he is, the ball's going to be in Acuff's hands.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like you said, what's the plan with Zach? Is he going to have the ball? Is he playing off ball? Well, yeah. I mean, it wasn't very clearly defined. It's going to be defined this year. And sure, he may have the ball in his hands sometimes, but primarily he'll be off ball and catch and shoot.
I mean, look, when it was DeMar and Lonzo and Zach, they liked that. So my biggest thing with LaVine is I've never really understood what he wants offensively. You know, he doesn't like the DHO. He wants the ball in his hands, but I don't know that he creates for himself, I guess. He doesn't really create for others. So I've always, and this is prior to LaVine even being on the Kings, I've always just wondered, hey, what is his offensive bag besides the fact that we know he can shoot that three ball? Mm-hmm. That's about it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I'm still not sure. And then now you're going to get a point guard. Okay, well, he's going to need the ball in his hands. Well, he didn't want the ball in his hands. It didn't seem like he wanted the ball in his hands last season.
I don't know what he wanted.
You know?
I know initially he tried, and this was going back 2 years ago, he tried to defer a little bit, and that didn't work for anybody. So I don't know. Now, you had something you were going to suggest or an idea before we get into LeBron when we went to break?
Yes. Yeah. I think it was just.
We can circle back to it if you're not.
Yeah.
If you don't remember what it was.
Well, I jot it down.
Okay.
Right, or I should have jotted it down.
I used to. There have been many times where I'd jot something down, like during a commercial break. I haven't done this in a while, but I'd jot something down, and then we get into the segment, and then I look at it, and it's like, I have no idea what I wrote.
And I didn't write it down because I remember right now.
Okay.
As we were going through the flow.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this. We are pretty sure we know how Zach LaVine feels, right? There was kind of the conversations about, hey, go out and find somebody or find a trade, and we'll see what we can do, right? We haven't heard that with Sabonis. We haven't really heard anything. Remember last offseason it was, he's going to reevaluate. Remember Sam put out that article. He's going to reevaluate.
He's not one to air his laundry
publicly. He's not, but I feel like your idea would have more legs if he had came out and said, I know he was interested in Detroit. We did hear that. I
heard something along those lines, but it's very sketchy to the point where I'm not sure what it was.
Right, but if it came out that, hey, Domas is looking to leave as well, that we just haven't crossed that threshold where it's clear that both sides are on the same page. Because then the basketball politics would kind of go out the window.
Right. Yeah, and there's just nothing to be gained by further alienating him.
Not right now.
Aggravating him. You just don't gain anything.
Right, not right now. If it came out that he is done and he would like to be gone, then that's a different conversation.
How much do you think LeBron's next decision, and maybe he's already made it, but how much does it matter in terms of who actually wins next year? How much of an impact now does LeBron's decision make? You know, in past years, it's been everything. The whole balance of power in the NBA depends on whether LeBron decides to stay in Cleveland or go to Miami, or is he going to the Lakers? Back to Cleveland, it seemed like it could change everything, and in fact, it could. But how impactful is that now? How much does it matter now?
It matters, but it truly matters where he goes. He is not the same LeBron who can go to any team and turn it into a contender.
And I wonder how big of a factor that is for him.
Yeah.
You know, because obviously you don't want to go somewhere with people thinking and with you declaring, I'm the savior here. And then, it's like, I'm not going to be the savior there, and it's going to be humiliating.
No, well, the other thing, too, is, the reports are that he's going to take a minimum contract or something like that. So he ain't getting paid to be the savior.
Sure feels now, and I know I've been saying Warriors, 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 and it doesn't look like that's going to happen. But it sure feels like Cleveland. It looks like Cleveland may be trying to win this summer.
Man, I know it's been a while. We got his jersey in here, and even though De'Aaron Fox is still getting memed and put on every World Cup team that loses, you got to think De'Aaron Fox is probably taking a deep breath today, to be honest with you, because Donovan Mitchell, wow. I can't pay. This is the type of stuff. Just wait, fellas. Just wait for this, because what's going to happen? Cleveland, they think they're going to be all in for these next 2 years.
They're close to something with Harden too.
They are.
Yeah.
And then if they don't win within these next 2 years, what's going to happen? Donovan Mitchell is going to be traded somewhere for a bag of Doritos. That's what happened. It's going to be the same thing with Trae Young. Well, it already happened. with Trae Young. Then they did it again. $60.9 million, $65.8 million, $70.6 million, $75.5 million. That's what Donovan Mitchell is looking at, 273. And, Jay, this is what we're talking about. They said the brother took a pay cut.
Well, he could have. If he waited another year, he could have made a lot more money. I applaud them. I'm not a Cleveland fan, but I think a fan has to appreciate any team, any sport when they're actually trying to win. May not.
Lots of money. And that hasn't stopped anyone's fandom. But is it getting to a point, and I get it, what's the difference between someone making $20 million a year and 60 or 70? Could it get to a point where this is just a turnoff? Right? I mean, at some point, we got people, fans.
Yeah, it could.
In general, like,
That's a good question.
We're all working our butts off, man. We really are. And this is, what are you even doing with this much money?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
We'll answer. We got to take a quick time out. We got to take a pausa de hydratation, and we'll be right back here.
Huh?
Pausa de.
Try that again.
Hydratation.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to take one of those. Also, is that elusive team identity slowly but surely emerging for your Kings? And we'll get to Alan's very poignant question, too, coming up on Sactown Sports.
After 2 seasons in Sacramento, the Kings have parted ways with forward DeMar DeRozan. With one of the team's top scorers and veteran leaders now gone, who will step up to fill DeRozan's shoes?
Your exclusive home for Kings basketball.
Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Country in the Park 2, presented by your California Army National Guard, October 23rd at Heart Health Park at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Russell Dickerson. Plus more. Enjoy line dancing, live DJs, mechanical bull, and food trucks. Tickets start at just $70. Country in the Park 2, October 23rd at Heart Health Park at Cal Expo with Michelob Ultra, the California Office of Traffic Safety, and Caltrans. More info at CITPFest.com.
Card collectors know there's nothing as special as a rare one-of-one card. And now you can hear a very rare one-of-a-kind sports card show right here on Sactown Sports. Whitey Gleason here inviting you to join me and Mr. True Sports Cards himself, Imran Pilati, for the True Sports Card Show every Saturday morning at 10 on Sactown Sports. It's the only sports card radio show in the nation. For all your hobby needs, get to True Sports Cards, 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland. And for hobby, insight, and fun, join us for the True Sports Card Show Saturday mornings at 10 on Sactown Sports.
Hey, this is Jelly Roll. As many of you know, my song Winning Streak is about my own personal struggles with addiction. I first sought help for my addiction at 14 years old. Start your recovery journey. Choose a proven addiction treatment option that's right for you at ChooseChangeCA.org. The real you is worth recovering. Choose Change California provides access to proven treatment options for addiction to opioids and stimulants. ChooseChangeCA.org. This is your chance to recover your life.
Only one radio program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Sepp Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is, live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Sepp Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Sepp's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Ultimate Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sactown Sports 1140.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140. Live and local, it's The Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
With the Kings winning again last night in Summer League, Is their elusive team identity slowly but surely starting to emerge? We'll get to that here with the Drive Guys, but right now we're dealing with a very poignant question from Alan Stiles that gets right to the heart of being a sports fan. This new contract for Donovan Mitchell kind of rattled you a little bit, leaves you asking some deep questions.
Yeah, and I go through this every at least a couple times a year. You know what? Mostly at the beginning of the month when I'm paying my bills. That's normally when I start looking at these contracts thinking, if my kids don't get in there and dribble a ball right now, we're going to have a problem. But, the reality of it is, Whitey, you just get so removed from reality. And you know what the funny thing is? Donovan Mitchell, I don't know if they had either just lost or they were about to lose, but Donovan Mitchell was getting interviewed, I believe it was by Malika Anderson, and he did that thing, right, where he's not false, but he did that thing where he says, I'm already a winner. He said something to that degree, I'm already a champion. We've heard Russell Westbrook say it, and none of these guys are wrong, but when you are making so much money, it really makes you wonder, and I can't question any of these dudes, it really makes you wonder, how much can you care? I'm not asking whether or not they care or not. I'm asking how much can you care when you are making, now I get it, they're in completely different worlds than us and they just kind of operate differently, but this is a lot different to the 90s when you're scratching and clawing and you're battling for endorsement money. All this stuff is connected and they were making good money back then, but nothing like this. I mean, as we've said before, how can you stay hungry when you are well fed?
What you said here really resonates with me. It reminds me of what I read from Giannis. Giannis issued a statement to the fans in Milwaukee, and tell me if this doesn't make you roll your eyes because of just what you're talking about. He said in a video that he sent to Milwaukee fans, which is great, he said, I believe the city of Milwaukee is blue collar. It's people that work extremely hard every single day. They give all their hard-earned money just to come watch the Milwaukee Bucks, to come and feel something, to come to be a part of us. I hope that I was able to represent them the best that I could, and I was like them. I showed up to work, did everything. I was willing to do all the dirty work just like them. I hope that bringing a trophy to the city meant something to them because it meant so much to me, end quote.
He tried.
Yeah, he tries too hard sometimes.
Yeah, he tried, but it's kind of read the room.
Well, it's funny because athletes will say, and I agree with them, they'll say, fans don't understand what it's like to be us. Okay, but Giannis, you don't understand what it's like to be a fan. You have no idea if you really believe that.
Yeah, not in a very, very long time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And obviously Giannis comes from humble beginnings.
That's a fair point.
But, I don't know at what point you cross a threshold. Like, I don't know everything about Giannis' story, but, do you get so – it is hard when you get so far removed from something. And I'm not saying Giannis is or not. I'm saying it's been a while since you've had to worry about money. So I don't know how that, or you could even make the argument you haven't had to worry about money since, I don't know, having your own children. Because you worked for everything that you got, and good on you. But it's just a weird world where some of these numbers, and that's why De'Aaron Fox was probably just waiting it out. Look, man, a lot of these contracts that are coming out, mine is not going to look that bad. And I know we thought Trae Young just got moved for a bag of Doritos, and the Wizards decided to give him another contract like that. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I mean, it's never going to affect my fandom, but it is kind of crazy when you sit back and these numbers, as funny as it is, you go to the lottery, fellas, and when it's up to $1 billion, everybody wants to play it, right? But nobody really plays it the same way when it's $10 million. But I think all of us could use $10 million. Yes. And I feel like the same threshold is there. I mean, the Wemby, and I do think it's based on player. When Wemby signs this crazy contract, or Jason Ross, I was listening this morning when I was dropping the kiddo off, and he was talking about Jokic. Jokic, I feel like, hey, make $350 million, whatever it is, that's Jokic, one of the best players. There's a certain degree where that might not bother us as much when you see the Donovan Mitchells, and Donovan Mitchell's a solid player, but when the De'Aaron Foxes and the Donovan Mitchells are cashing out $60 million a year, yeah, it just honestly makes me a little uncomfortable.
As long as they care and play hard, I have no issue with it.
Yeah.
I don't begrudge anybody making their money.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you just wonder because I know the NBA, the cap is not going up as much as was expected. It's still very high, don't get me wrong, but it's kind of leveling off a little bit. But we're on a path where before too long, somebody in the NBA is going to be making $100 million a year.
Yeah. Sooner than later.
And so at some point, again, I'm not saying this is the worst, but I'm just saying, how can that person making $100 million a year really care as much about whether they win or lose? You can't blame them. But what that means is for me watching, why am I going to care if they don't care?
Yeah. Yeah. My dad used to be big on this because he would say, Al, look at them. You're getting so upset when your team loses. And the whole joke, they're going to Cancun on 3, all this. What did Draymond say that one time? At least I can afford to go to Cancun. I mean, they don't care. And my dad said, these fans get so upset and you're fighting other fans and all this crazy stuff. Meanwhile, these dudes, we don't know for a fact, but they're going off and vacationing and enjoying the life that they built. Don't get me wrong, but it's this weird thing where I wonder, I guess to tie a bow on it, if the passion changes at all when based on what you're saying, Whitey, they're making so much money. Well, I can't really tell how much they care. So now it's kind of hard for me to care as much as I once did.
Yeah.
I'd say this. I'm actually in the category of, as a fan, I think I care less.
Mm-hmm.
I think the money, and part of it may just because we've been, we're lucky to be in this industry and know people and understand and be around it. But I will say this, as someone who grew up all about sports, the older I get and the more money that's thrown around, the less I care. Because I've also been that where it's like, I care more than they care. And unfortunately, I've been around people that have showed me I care more than they care as athletes, and they have the opportunity to go out and win championships and do things. And so for me, I'd say, Alan, it definitely has detoured me more as a fan, where I'm like, that dude makes way too much money, and I've gotten to see that person, and like, he don't even give a damn.
Yeah.
He's not even tripping because he's able to, as soon as he leaves here, he gets to go to the mansion. He gets to jump in the Ferrari. And I'm not saying material things, but that's a lot about when we're talking about money and salary, how we gauge those things. And so I'm with you. And I'll also take it a step further. I don't know if you guys have really been paying attention that much, but for whatever reason, athletes have been coming out and talking about how their compensation throughout their career is not a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like Melo just did it. Joe Hayden just did it. There's a bunch of people as of late who've like, well, 100 million is not 100 million. Well, no, duh. We got that. We understand you're getting taxed.
Yeah.
How about you check ours too? We're getting taxed as much too. So for me, I just say in a full circle as a fan, when I see players and I can already say, they don't care. You could tell they don't care. And we try and fool ourselves and say, well, man, I don't know if he went all out. Hell no, he didn't go all out. I can tell you that because I've been behind the closed doors to see it. But also beyond that, now that I'm hearing athletes talk about, well, 150 million really ain't 150 million.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Like, and so
by 60,000, not really by 60,000.
Yeah. I saw it, Rich Paul, he had said, I tell my guys all the time, 200 million is not that much.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
You're being disrespectful.
You are.
To people. And that's why I always say this, fellas, and I know I'm a broken record sometimes with certain things, but I don't think we don't hear this enough. And if we do, I don't think we hear this enough from people like you guys who have the opportunity every single day to come on here and say stuff, right? If you take a step back and look at where we're at in the world, and I tell our bosses this all the time, up the ante. There are people who are struggling daily, mightily, right? And how dare you as an athlete, no matter if you're compensated well or not, how dare you come up here and talk to a person who's working on the roof every single day in 100-degree weather and in the rain and in the snow and battling for their family, and you talk about 100 million ain't nothing?
Yeah.
Stop it, man.
Yeah, I think the danger for pro sports is this. When I got hired to my first radio job, my general manager was a guy named Terry Devoto, and one of the things he told me is, look, you're young, you love sports. The more you're in it, the longer you're in it, the more you're going to see what it's really like, and then some of that gloss comes off. And it's part of what Jay's talking about. It reminds me one time for some radio promotion, I got to go, quote unquote, backstage at Disneyland.
Okay.
Where, you go in the staging area. And so you're on Main Street and there's all the characters. And then you go into the staging area where they're all, they're struggling with the heat and their costumes, and Mickey Mouse takes his head off and is like, it's just a guy, and I think that's a danger here. The more players, the more money they make, which I don't begrudge them, but the more they get to a point where, is it really worth it? Then it's like we're seeing, all the stuff that we have grown up believing about sports, a lot of the fairy tales, they're not even really true. The players can't afford to care about some of that stuff. So again, it's like, well, wait, so why should I care?
Right.
But I think as long as we have guys, I don't know how many there will be, but, Magic, Michael Jordan, Tom Brady, the guys that have to win, and women, not just guys, but women that have to win, no matter how much money they get. They have to win. As long as you have a steady supply of them, I think the games will survive. But it's we're approaching a tipping point.
Yeah, definitely. And I'd also say NFL is different because they haven't entered Looney Tuneville yet. Those guys probably should be getting paid Looney Tune money, but they're not. But the baseball contracts and the NBA contracts, those are the ones that are, man, these are some crazy amounts of money, and you have to find particular and hopefully, and that's why, we joke about being a fan of certain teams, but if there's somebody out there, if you grew up in wherever, Sacramento, wherever, but who you grew up on was a player that you felt, man, that dude makes a ton of money, but I just like how he brings it every single day, that's going to start happening even more.
Look at a guy like, we don't know him, but Juan Soto. Phenomenal talent, who makes so much money, and it appears that he doesn't care about the game as much as he used to. And you could understand that. Right. But a phenomenal talent, and now he's just like, you can see it. He's got like so much money, I'm good.
Yeah.
You
got money.
A generational talent.
Right.
I
money, won a ring already. What else is there?
Yeah. Playing for money, baby.
Yeah. What else is there?
The toughest thing, and I think I told you guys this off air one time, but an athlete told me, and I think I equated it to my time with musicians. The toughest thing is, depending on how you grew up, that, perception is reality. A lot of times that paints your picture in your future, right? And there's something along the lines in life where we feel accomplished in certain things we get to. Like it's like, oh, okay, you get your high school diploma. Man, I got it. Whatever it is just something in society that tells us when you do this, you've crossed over to make it in a certain extent. And I remember an athlete telling me the first time I saw 2 commas hit my paycheck, right? A direct deposit, I made it. And he said, the first time I saw that, something internally changed in me to where the veracity, the ambition, the things that I wanted, it just all left my body. I made it. These are the things that when I was growing up, my mom and my father and, whatever, people in the neighborhood and all that, we strive for this. Now, I can pretty much go get whatever I want.
Yep.
And people are going to give me whatever I want or, treat me in a certain point. I made it. Now, and this is the coldest part, fellas, now that I've made it in this part of my life, in that sport or whatever, now I'm looking to make it and accomplish something in another part of my life. And I said, wow. So you've made it in your sport. Now you're looking to go do like Myron Rowe. Now you want to go to, MIT. So now, as you said, Whitey, you're kind of going through the motions because now this is a job. I'm just treating this like a job now. I want to go over here and, whatever you want to do, create something, avenues.
And I don't even know if that's wrong, Jay. As a
it's
kid,
not.
Yeah. Human nature.
Exactly.
Well, and I think that's the fascinating thing, and it's all super layered, especially for us, because we're not used to athletes turning into our competition. growing up, Whitey, and when you started in this, and honestly, when I started in it, it was starting to heat up, but you would sit there, you would talk about the athletes, right? Fair or foul, whatever you want to call it, and then they react to you. Maybe you have them on, whatever. Now, they are getting into the space themselves. So I don't need you to speak for me.
Which is actually really smart.
Right, it's extremely smart.
Yeah.
But that opens the door to what Jay is saying. Back in the day, I play basketball and I'm going to make all my money from basketball. Maybe I'll do some commercials, whatever it is. Now with with all of the different platforms, you can expand and do things that MJ, Magic, they weren't on podcast. They were I'm here to hoop. Right. And that's what it is. And to pull it all the way back around to Darius Acuff, and we'll see, as he gets paid and kind of matures and changes and all these things. That's why I think a lot of people love Darius Acuff, because he's here to hoop.
Kimberly says that she thinks that's why people love Dylan Cardwell.
That's right.
Uh-huh.
That's right. Yeah. You see some of these guys. I saw this kid.
You're trying. We
right.
appreciate that.
And it's a lowish bar at this point. I saw this one dude. He was on Overtime or Bleacher Report. The kid had a podcast. He was in high school. And I know Overtime was cashing him out. Good on him. He was a top prospect. But that's the difference is, and I shouldn't necessarily like one player more than the other, but I am dang glad that it seems like the Kings have a hooper's hooper in Acuff. Now, you get older, things can change, but as of right now, he's not already doing, and that would be his right to do it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it's just nice because these athletes have so many avenues, not just the actual paychecks, but all these other avenues, and good on them. But there is a level of, you feel a little bit disconnected.
I do think that's one of the many things that people like about football more than other sports. And obviously you can think in your mind of plays where somebody took a play off. So players in football don't always try their hardest all the time. But for the most part, if you're playing football and you're not giving your best effort, you might get killed.
Right. Yeah. And somebody on the text line is saying, why not pay them a bit less and charge less for tickets? Yeah, I don't know how they would, the cat's out of the bag or the toothpaste is out of the tube. But I think going back to football, unfortunately, football, they do not compensate their guys probably as well as they should, definitely compared to other sports. And funny enough, it has helped their business model because everybody knows, that running back is out there grinding. That brother got 4 or 5 years to get paid. Yeah. Unlike in baseball, like you said, Juan Soto, I'm getting $20 million over the next 25 years.
Whether I strike out or hit a home run.
It doesn't matter. So they're not built. These contracts aren't, honestly, fellas, these contracts aren't built for them to care for forever.
It's the guarantee.
Yeah.
It's the guarantee behind them.
They're not. That's what did my boys say? Bringing it back around, De'Aaron. The good thing is these contracts are guaranteed.
I think they should be guaranteed.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think so too. Because of the percentages of, and this goes down another way, but
I've gotten in trouble in certain jobs insisting on guarantees. So I'm big on guarantees.
I'm with you.
No, I'm with you.
Right. Yeah.
It's just things are the way, it's necessarily not about guarantees, but as these monopoly prices just get crazier and crazier, I just think we might reach a breaking point where it's just hard to identify.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're there.
Yeah,
I'll be honest.
We're probably already there.
Especially with social networks. And the look and the feel of being a celebrity has definitely put a divide in how we look at things these days.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you don't believe that, then we might need to speak to you. But when it comes to athletes, I think they are already put on a pedestal. Like I just saw somebody, I can't remember, somebody was like, 916. My dad always said, don't put people on pedestals, especially athletes. I think that is, unfortunately, we've already done that, right? And so we tend to, and I say we, I guess the mass population, tend to recognize guys who don't really lean on that pedestal, guys and gals. It's like, we kind of can assimilate to them. They're relatable, so we kind of give them a little more love compared to the over-the-top, Juan Soto. Like, Juan Soto caught a lot of flack over the last year because people are like, well, he's unrelatable now. Right. I can't relate to him anymore.
Yeah.
You know, and he's not even hustling. And again, people who get up at 5 a.m. to go take their kids and like you, Alan, to do things, right?
Yeah.
And so I think there's already a disconnect. And then when you start to look around and start to add in the fact that I am a fan of this team, and it's like, oh, man, I'll be completely honest. I'll give you an example. I'm a huge fan of the 49ers. But there are multiple people on the 49ers that I find are hard to root for, right? Mm-hmm. And that's because of their personal lives and the way they go about acting. Mm-hmm. It's tough, right? So I don't relate to a lot of those guys to a certain extent.
You have to choose to overlook that.
You have to.
Yeah.
Thank you, Whitey. You have to. Yeah. And then on top of that, now it's not a Jed York issue. It's not a 49er issue. It's probably not an NFL issue. But now I got to fork over $200 just to walk through the door to see somebody I don't relate to, don't really care for, but because you got the logo on your chest, I got to rock with you.
And they don't even care.
And they don't care?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think we're already there.
Slippery slope.
Yeah. It is. I think we're there.
And let me separate a couple things here. Kids as fans, I don't think will ever change. Now, I will say this. There's so many other activities for them these days that I would be interested in how all that looks as we continue to, kids want to be streamers and they want to do all these things. So that's interesting. I think what we're more so talking about is adult fandom. And when you're no longer, I'm growing up, I want to be Ken Griffey Jr. I don't care how much Ken Griffey Jr. makes because one day I'm going to make that too. I want to be Barry Bonds. As I get a little bit older and now my life has gone into a different avenue, now I'm looking and I'm thinking, man, Barry is making this, and Barry wasn't even making what these guys are making now, and that can change how adults fan more so than kids. The last thing I'll say is I think that what you guys or what we've been talking about with Juan Soto is interesting because there is a positive in this, and I know he had the weird betting thing, but it was not him, it was his translator. But I do think that Shohei is the opposite end of that, where people don't really bag on Shohei getting the bag. Well, it's all deferred because they're the Smurfs, but people don't really bag on Shohei getting the bag because every time Shohei goes out there, he's beating out balls, the ground balls to first base. He's stealing bags. So even though
he had to work and still has to work very hard.
Exactly. So I think the positive spin on this is that there will be certain athletes out there where you can still see it.
Yeah.
Hopefully there are as many as there were when we were growing up.
Yeah, I'll say this about kids. You mentioned kids, and I know this isn't where you were going, but I was reminded of it. The issue with that, the saddest part of that, kids in sports, is how you've got kids at the youngest ages just trying to have a good time, spend an afternoon doing something fun, and even at the lowest levels, you've got some coaches / parents who are already thinking, with dollar signs in their eyes.
Oh, yeah. That's me.
But
yeah, boy.
But I know you well enough to know that you're not like driving your kids inappropriately because
look, Jay,
you want them to.
I already been looking up. I literally looked up a couple days ago 3-year-old track leagues.
Come on, stop it.
In Sacramento.
Are you serious?
They don't have any.
Yeah, I hope not. I hope that's preschool, man.
Yeah, we
got
Head
Start program.
One more summer.
Maryhill.
Why don't you start one?
Hey, this is a big summer for big season
summer.
for CJ Stroud. It's a big summer for my 3-year-old.
What?
It's a big summer, guys.
And what for?
We touching some of this cash, Jay.
Dark turn.
Oh, we talking about TK to make sure she gets some transitional kindergarten.
Golf, track, soccer. Now we back into soccer now, and she can do basketball if she wants. Obviously, softball will come.
Why is it a big summer though?
Because this is where these kids start to turn into prodigies.
What?
3 years old. That's when Rory is a big summer, fellas. Now, if she doesn't want to play, cool. We'll revisit it when she's about 6. But these next 3 years, you're going to give me everything you got.
Okay. I may be sorry that I brought that up.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
You all learned something.
I'm kidding. Anyone got a track league? I'm kidding.
3-year-old track league.
3-year-old track league. I think we can get her out there practicing, but I don't know if she can run yet.
Come on. Hey, what is it? Throw the hammer. Throw the hammer. Come on.
Yeah, if you have any spaces in your 3-year-old track league, Alan would love to.
Thank you, Whitey.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Love to get involved.
Thank you very
You're
much.
willing to coach as well?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
oh,
I'm
yeah.
forecasting greatness.
I'm anything anybody needs, I'm here.
All right. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. In Style, Out of Style is coming up next. Special World Cup edition on Sactown Sports.
After 2 seasons in Sacramento, the Kings have parted ways with forward DeMar DeRozan. With one of the team's top scorers and veteran leaders now gone, who will step up to fill DeRozan's shoes?
Your exclusive home for Kings basketball.
Sactown Sports 1140.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
On BritBox, there is a place where stories twist like cobblestone roads, grand manners hide secrets, and stakes are higher than seaside cliffs. Find places worth getting lost in on BritBox. Watch new series like The Other Bennett Sister from the world of Jane Austen and A Woman of Substance starring Golden Globe winner Brenda Blethyn. If you want to get away, you're in the right place. Stream the best of British TV on BritBox. Free trial at BritBox.com.
The Travel Guys, new on KHTK 1140 every Saturday at 11 a.m.
We'll make you a smarter traveler. Tips you can use on the road and at the airport, plus reports from top consumer advocates.
The Travel Guys, 11 a.m. on Sactown Sports 1140.
And we're live from the living room as Doug eyes up the matchday spread. He's reaching for the buffalo wing. Perfect! Hang on, what's this? Oh, he's gone for a can of Pepsi too! Incredible! What a finish! Sensational combination! Look at the delight on his face. There's no doubt about it. It just tastes better. Match days deserve Pepsi. Food deserves Pepsi. Grab a pack of Pepsi Zero Sugar for today's match. It's poetry in motion.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-375-2922. 800-375-2922. 800-375-2922.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Looking for family fun, thrilling baseball, and unforgettable memories? Come out to Sutter Health Park and catch the Sacramento Rivercats in action. Great games, great food, and great times await. Get your tickets at rivercats.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave, and yeah, I've been on the air here just shy of 25 years, and you guys know that when I endorse something, I have a few very important things. Number one, I love it when they're local. Number two, I have to be willing to use them myself. This is where Pest Pros came in, or comes in, I should say, because I've known these guys as Kings fans a long, long time. I also have a mouse problem at my house. I also have a cockroach problem at my house. And I did it the old-fashioned way. Went through Facebook, got a hold of these guys. We became friends. And when I found out what Pest Pros does in the community, I thought, I've got to have you guys on the air. We've got a partner. Locally owned, locally operated. Their kids go to school with your kids. You're going to get pest control somewhere. Get it with Pest Pros. Here's how you get a hold of them. PestProsPS.com or call them at 916-588-9345. That's 916-588-9345 and tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
There's high fashion.
Did you ever think that maybe there's more to life than being really, really, really ridiculously good looking.
And then there's helpless.
Are you mocking me with that outfit?
It's time for In Style, Out of Style with the Drive Guys.
How much do clothes cost in the Matrix?
Here's Whitey Gleason and Alan Stiles.
Well, people really enjoyed your tale of 3-year-old track leagues, Alan.
Yeah, the text line, now my kid's being recruited to join another school. Look, man, I don't know. It's going to be tough. 916 says Baby Styles rookie deal is just about up. We in a contract year. So that's very true.
Alan juicing up his kids with cells.
Yeah, 916 says they got 3-year-old golf training. Don't I know it? We about to sign up.
Really?
We in there.
Mm-hmm.
We in there. So, and I'm just playing. I'm just playing around.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, okay? And the reason, it's all kind of connecting back together as we start off In Style, Out of Style. It's all kind of connecting back together to this soccer conversation, fellas. So, In Style, Out of Style. This is from Danny Cannell, and this is exactly what we've been talking about.
Former Giant quarterback?
Yes. So that is perfect because this is everybody that's getting into it now.
Mm-hmm.
So says these dudes playing soccer since 5 years old would dog walk the rest of the world. Then he says, who did I miss? He starts off with this list, Whitey. Lamar Jackson, Anthony Edwards, SGA, and he has some kind of jokes in there. He says SGA for the flopping, Jamar Chase, Myles Garrett, the enforcer, Pete Crow Armstrong, Bobby Witt Jr., LeBron James is his goalie, Jahmyr Gibbs, Christian McCaffrey, Saquon Barkley. So he's saying that team right there would win the World Cup. And then he says, who did I miss? So he's saying if that group played from, and now somebody says, pretty much any NFL DB or running back would be more athletic than anyone we are currently rolling out there. Your list is a great start. And I don't know. I feel like, I don't know if disrespectful is the right term, but I'm just so sick and tired of doing this. But also, is he right? Maybe. I don't know.
Here's what I wonder, and I don't know enough about it to know, having not played soccer, but I wonder if, it's like baseball. Some baseball is skill where athleticism only helps you to a certain degree.
Yeah.
There's hand-eye coordination, things like that, which is true in any sport, but especially baseball. Is that also true of soccer? Could you take some great athletes and just have them where they don't really translate to soccer because there's things you have to know and be able to do in soccer that are not part of just being athletic? I don't know.
Yeah.
But that would be one of my first questions. Are you sure? I get your point, Danny Cannell, but are we sure about that?
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because we also do this. I think a lot of people do this, and I always take this personally because I think baseball is another sport where you'll hear a lot of people will say, man, I kept playing basketball or football instead if I had just stuck with baseball. And it kind of feels, but it's there's something about the game along with soccer where I think that people feel like it's easier, right? Or maybe you see,
I've joked about that, yeah.
Right. Or maybe you see a pitcher that's kind of out of shape and you're thinking, man, if that guy can be on the mound, I should have stuck with soccer. So I think or baseball, I think there's a little bit of this going on, but I'm also not sure that Danny Cannell is wrong. The list is a good list. So I'm a little torn on it. That's why I wanted to throw it out there. In style, out of style.
Are we sure? I think this is the case, but are we sure that you take any soccer country, if you will, are we sure that all their best athletes are playing soccer?
That's a great point.
It's a question. I don't know, because they do play basketball in other countries.
Right. And they're starting to play football, too.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think they're picking football over football, but
I know that culturally in other countries that soccer is on a higher rung, so I understand that.
Yeah.
I'm just asking questions, Alan.
I feel like, and I see what you did there. Sometimes you got to ask some questions. I feel like his actual list is in style. I feel like the idea of doing this exercise every time Team USA loses is out of style.
I think his list is out of style because I think it's disrespectful to the people, United States people from around the world who actually have spent their lives playing soccer and are really good at it, and to assume that all these other guys, they could have done it. They'd be better than anybody. Disrespectful. Out of style.
Jay, this is from Danny Cannell. He cooked up this list. If all these guys were playing from 5 years old, he says that they would run away with the World Cup. Lamar Jackson, Anthony Edwards, SGA, Jamar Chase, Myles Garrett, Pete Crow Armstrong, Bobby Witt Jr., LeBron James is your goalie.
SGA from Canada. He's not playing with us.
Yeah.
Right. Come on, dog.
Come on, Danny.
Get it together, Danny.
Great
Jameer Gibbs, Christian McCaffrey, Saquon Barkley. So a bunch of football dudes.
Some of them would say, I hate this game, and they wouldn't play. When they go to they'd say, I don't like this.
I'm out of style on the roster, but I guess I'm a little in style on the fact that if you change the athlete.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of what he's saying.
I mean, but it's a different version of what we do every year. They're out there. We're actually better than you. We just haven't put out our best athletes, and they have not played soccer.
Because we have more important things to do.
That's right. and whenever we actually try in soccer, that's when we'll win.
Probably never.
All right, so that was the first one. The second in style, out of style, guys, we never got around to talking about this.
Whoa, somebody says, Peg Junk, Norway doesn't keep track of scores until after year 13.
Wow.
I'm not down with that.
I mean, we're keeping score.
Oh, yeah.
Just in my mind.
Jeff, you're going to keep score?
Why be in it?
Yeah.
Why be competitive?
Right. If you're going to keep score, you might as well
win.
Try to win.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Next one, guys. We hadn't had this conversation yet about the MLB's draft overhaul proposal, and I thought we'd probably have some strong feelings on it. So the proposal covers domestic and international amateurs and covers a significant amount of ground. Here are the most important elements. High school players would be ineligible for the domestic MLB draft and need to be at least 2 years removed from graduation to be selected. So a red shirt freshman after that second year or JUCO, whatever it is. An international draft would be implemented for every player outside of the United States, Canada, and Puerto Rico. The domestic draft would be cut from 20 rounds to 12. That would be another cut. The international entry age would move from 16 to 18. And really the crux of this, fellas, is to get guys that are a little bit more polished and hopefully get to the big leagues quicker. They also say, I don't know how much they actually care about this, but they also say that this is a note to college-age players to build up college baseball by creating a draft. Here's their quote. By creating a draft system centered around college-age players and making most college players eligible 1 year earlier, more players will benefit from both a college education, and I guess for a couple years, and an elite development environment.
That's what they care about is the players getting a college education.
While reaching professional baseball and ultimately the major leagues more quickly. So we never talked about this. This came out back in June, and then they have some numbers that actually go against it. Shohei from Japan,
I don't like it.
Juan Soto was a free agent.
They're trying to save money, and they're trying to get not have to waste money on prospects who are never going to make it.
I'm out on
Thumbs
it.
down.
Yeah, this is it would be pretty rough for a lot of cities that have the minor league.
You're also robbing, especially youngsters in other countries. You're taking options away from
opportunities.
Yeah.
And you're saying you're doing it for their benefit. But I don't think you are.
You're doing it for yours.
Yeah.
Saving money, chumps.
Saving money. Now, I here's my take that I've had on this for a while. If you're not going to give these guys real opportunities, then also don't waste their time. That's how I felt when, these kids are going to hold on to the dream forever, but they can't look in the mirror and realize that you are just using them once you're 24, 25 and you haven't been past single A, you're using them to get your younger guys ready. So I don't know. If you're not going to do it, I've always felt like if you're not going to do it right, then don't do it at all. But I guess that's giving them an out.
But someone's on the player. You guys are players. Like, if you have an opportunity, No matter what you think of me, if you're letting me play, I have a chance to change
But it's
your
a
mind.
perfect system because you don't really have a chance. That's been my argument on it. Last but not least, fellas, and this is the important one. See who is now at the top of the fast food chain, Whitey, Chick-fil-A. Their run is over. They've been going for a while now at the top of the American Customer Satisfaction Index. Now they have been bumped down to number 2 with a score of 83. Any guesses who is number 1?
Joaquin and La Caja, Jack in the Box.
On the list. Whitey goes with Jack in the Box.
I thought I saw it was a steak and shake or
no, not Jack in the Box is not on the list, Whitey.
Not. What was up there?
It's not. Don't think. I should have told it before you guessed, Whitey. Don't think like a burger.
Burger, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it not?
They've been hot to trot lately.
Oh,
El Pollo Loco.
No. Is it? And I don't. Man, it's green. I'm looking at them. It's a chicken spot.
No. You're thinking of
Okay.
Shake Shack.
Shake Shack.
No, it's actually, fellas, Jersey Mike's.
Oh.
Jersey Mike's coming in at number 1.
Jersey Mike's.
Chick-fil-A number 2. Jimmy John's number 3. Panda Express number 4. Shout out Panda.
Really?
KFC number 5.
Okay.
KFC's tied with Papa John's, Pizza Hut, and Domino's. And then after that, Raising Cane's in the 70s.
Yeah.
Subway in the 70s. Starbucks in the 70s. Little Caesars below that. And last but not least, we have the top 5. These are fast 15 full-service restaurant chains, okay? Coming in at number 5, tied at 79. You got Applebee's and Chili's are tied, which is perfect. That's just perfect. Yeah. Coming in at number 3, Olive Garden. Coming in at number 2,
Breadsticks, baby.
Texas Roadhouse. Speaking of those rolls.
I like them rolls, cinnamon.
And tied at number 1, actually, Longhorn Steakhouse. I've never been there. Never been to Longhorn.
Only been a couple times.
Yeah, down in the dumpsters, guys.
Dang.
IHOP at 76, Denny's at 77.
The dumpster.
Red Lobster.
Denny says ice cream pancakes now.
Yeah, they're going to stay down there.
Really?
I think.
Yeah.
You tried them?
No, I just saw a commercial for it like yesterday, and that's all I can think about.
What if I told you that Cheesecake Factory is tied with Golden Corral?
Really?
Yeah.
I'd say that nothing against you, but I don't care for your list, sir.
I didn't make the list.
I know.
Shout out Longhorn Steakhouse. Gotta go. Gotta see.
Who would you say? Jersey Mike's?
Jersey Mike's number 1. Number 1 fast food spot taking down Chick-fil-A.
All right. Thank you, Alan. That was definitely in style.
Definitely is much.
We'll get to the phones when we come back. Thanks for your patience. Also, we'll get back to the Kings and that team identity. Is it slowly but surely rising to the surface? Next on Sactown Sports.
Take Sactown Sports with you everywhere you go with the Sactown Sports app. The most in-depth coverage of the Kings and 49ers. A library of written and video content. And all your favorite personalities all in one place. Download the Sactown Sports app today and get in on the action. Your local sports leader. Sactown Sports 1140.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-572-3344. That's 800-572-3344.
Sacramento's best selection, best quality, and lowest prices on kitchen and bath products are at the new Anova Cabinet and Stone. For a limited time, get stunning new quartz countertops starting at just $159. That's right, only $159 for gorgeous quartz countertops. Listen to this. For a limited time, cabinets for kitchens and bathrooms are up to 50% off. Yes, up to 50% off new cabinets. It's a must-see, the new Anova Cabinet and Stone at Florin Road and Highway 99. Learn more at AnovaCabinetStone.com.
Rock fans, this one's for you. The Rolling Stones are back with the brand new album Foreign Tongues out July 10th. Experience powerful new songs, timeless rock and roll, and the unmistakable sound that has defined generations. From the band that helped shape rock history, don't miss your chance to pre-order today. Visit therollingstoneShop.com now and secure your copy of Foreign Tongues before the official release.
Today, we tip our wrench to Rock Auto customer Noah.
My first car was a 2001 Dodge Neon with a blue wing, and it happened to match my high school sweetheart, who's now my wife, her black 2005. So my uncle has been in the industry for well over 25 years. He recommended Rock Auto immediately to buy my first set of brakes. I would recommend Rock Auto just because it's simple, it's easy to find the parts you're looking for, it's all at a good price.
All the parts your car will ever need, Rock Auto.
At Power Business Technology, we're not another big box corporation. We're your neighbors, locally owned and operated. We know what businesses like yours need, from reliable printers to high-performance copiers. We'll help you find the right solution with personal service you just can't get online. Need setup or support? We're just down the road and always happy to help. Power Business Technology, family hometown service with big-time solutions. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Hey, this is Jelly Roll. As many of you know, my song Winning Streak is about my own personal struggles with addiction. I first sought help for my addiction at 14 years old. Start your recovery journey. Choose a proven addiction treatment option that's right for you at ChooseChangeCA.org. The real you is worth recovery. Choose Change California provides access to proven treatment options for addiction to opioids and stimulants. ChooseChangeCA.org. This is your chance to recover your life.
Download the app and listen to The Drive Guys.
The Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Alan Stiles.
On Sactown Sports 1140.
If there's any real Kings news today, it's probably that Bobby Jackson is moving on, and it does appear that Bobby Jackson is moving on. You may have heard Bobby Jackson will not be coaching with the Kings this year, and it appears that Bobby Jackson is moving on.
Yeah.
Of his own accord.
Right. We don't know any kind of future plans. He's going to finish out the summer, see how things kind of unfold for him. But yeah, it's kind of a new day, if you will. I know Doug Christie is still the coach, but again, Scott Perry kind of getting his hands a little dirtier than last season, putting his fingerprints on more things. And I'm not saying this was a Scott Perry thing, but it feels like this thing is, we're starting to see more notes of the machine that Scott Perry wants to build.
The machine.
Yeah.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Can we call him Scotty now? Because that's what Vivek called him on TV.
You can.
He's meeting with the media, speaking with the media tomorrow. Scotty. Hey, it's Whitey. What's up, Scotty?
And that it's about free agency. Is what it's about. Yeah.
Is that for that one poor guy that they have to have a special?
Oh, who started off?
Yeah.
Oh, I hope he gets to ask a question first.
Yes, I hope so.
Yeah.
Okay, we're ready for your question now.
Yeah. Shout out to Sac B.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to be in the building.
I hope he is.
I hope he is.
They doing free agency that he's got to talk about.
It's a great question. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Just talk about how they don't have money and how they're going to look to.
Yeah, Are you sure that's what the topic is?
I believe
that's what it says on the press release.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I saw. So
that's a great point, Jay. What is there to say unless, if you haven't I guess Precious.
Thanks for everyone coming out.
Officially announced the Precious deal.
We're broke.
Which they did.
And you addressed what's going on with DeMar. So, okay, there's a couple things to at least.
Yeah, DeMar, they'll say, hey, free agency is obviously tied to some of these trades. I don't know if they'll be that open about the trade conversation.
I want to thank DeMar. He was the ultimate professional.
Yeah. Yeah.
Precious, we were just so pleased that he decided to stay and really showed us something last year.
Yeah. We're going to try to, see what we can do to gain some more flexibility. But if we're unable to do that, kind of is what it is.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Zane has been hanging on. Hey, Zane. Thanks for hanging on.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good.
Thanks for taking my call.
Absolutely. Thanks for hanging on. What can we do for you?
Yeah, so I'd like to rewind to the previous segment where we were talking about the players' contracts.
Uh-huh.
And I take all of the points you're making. I think many of them were valid. But it struck me that we don't never talk about, Sacramento Kings. I'm a big fan, but, we haven't been competitive in a long time. But I don't hear people saying the Maloofs must have just had too much money. Vivek just must have too much money, and that's why he's not competitive. We put that on workers all the time, but we never put that on management. We never put that on ownership. It seems like when it comes to labor, we can pocket watch all we want. But when it comes to ownership, when it comes to capital, we don't have nothing to say. The expectation is they can make as much money as they want. We should be concerned about labor, how much they make.
Thank you, Zane. I think that's a great point. I mentioned earlier when we were talking about Donovan Mitchell, I said I appreciate that the Cavs are trying to win. So I'm with you in that sense, Zane. And we were not trying to say it. We weren't trying to blame the players. I think we many times said we don't blame the players. But to your point, yes, that's one thing as a consumer of sports, you have to watch out for, wow, are these players really giving their best effort? But also, do these owners of these organizations, are they really trying to win? If they're not trying to win, if I want them to win, why am I spending money on them? That's a great point.
Yeah, it's just a rock in a hard place, right? Because, there's some people out there that aren't always happy with what the owners of their teams do. Well, what else are you going to do? I think the reason the initial conversation was more so about fandom.
Yes.
Right? And your connection to players. You're never really going to have those types of connections to owners.
Right.
So that's why, Zane, you're not wrong, but it was more about, hey, we're entering somewhere. The owners have always had a ridiculous amount of money. We're entering a new world where these players are making more money than we've ever seen. And, of course, as a fan, you're going to evaluate the player.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's kind of a blood relative to that, what Zane said. And like I said, I'm with you, and I think it's a great point. I think you initially raised it. But there's so much money in sports now. Yes, players are getting a lot, but there are some owners that, more than ever, they don't have to win to make money.
No. I mean, that's the whole thing that's going on with the
John Fisher.
John Fisher, the Celtics, right? I know June Lee has been putting out a bunch about the Celtics and the Red Sox and this private equity. And there was the Brewers who said, "Hey, well, we're trying to put out a good product. We're not necessarily trying to win a championship."
Yeah.
So I feel you on that one, Zane. It's just obviously going to be easier to evaluate the players per se, and not like here's the, I guess, conundrum, if you will. Zach LaVine got into it with that fan, right, over this past season, okay? So as Zane is viewing this, are you agreeing with the fan and them feeling like Zach LaVine could be playing better, or do you skip over that and say, I'm actually mad at Vivek because he brought in Zach LaVine? I don't know. Most people are just going to be mad at Zach LaVine. Maybe it's both.
I'd say both.
Maybe it's both.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people push back on him wanting, if we're using a Zach LaVine example.
Yeah, if those are my two options, I will take a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? And you can.
Yeah.
It's your world.
I mean, I'd say this. It's harder, and you make a great point, Alan. It's harder to step away from the whole organization versus a player, right? Because it's something like we just saw with the Raiders. How do I lose? If you've been a fan of the Raiders for 45, 50 years, right?
Yeah.
As Whitey points to Allen.
I didn't even see.
He hasn't been on Earth that long, but if you've been a fan of the Raiders for 37 odd years, and then all of a sudden they move to Vegas 32 years in, do you shake them or do you stay with them? And that's no player. That's all on the ownership group and the league.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Well, I think both things, whether it's about the owner, whether it's about the player, I think both things can result in the same way where your fandom just feels different.
That's what scares me the most about what the A's are in the process of doing. They left Oakland, and I know you can argue and make the case that Oakland didn't do enough to keep him, but they just uprooted the team, and they're moving him to like a go-between here, and and they insulted A's fans. And the thing is, the people that win are not people you should be insulting. It's people that didn't go. You didn't do what's incumbent upon you to get those people to come, but they insulted the fans. And bottom line is they're getting away with it.
Mm-hmm.
And who's to say other owners in other sports now can look at that and go, oh, yeah, we could pretty much leave. It might take a while, but we can just up and leave whenever we want.
Yeah. And
maybe owners have already been doing that.
Well,
but this was a very blatant offense.
Yeah, and there's a larger question as well, and that's why this lockout is probably going to happen because, to Zane's point, players are saying we deserve to make X, Y, Z, and owners are saying, well, if we can keep our margins in between here, we can be competitive enough to convince fans that we could win it, but we also can continue to make money without.
Is on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Are you an adult with uncontrolled moderate to severe Crohn's disease symptoms and still packing a backup bag of clothes? Just in case, Skyrizi Risankizumab Risa can help you take control of your Crohn's. Feel significant symptom relief, including less abdominal pain and fewer bowel movements at 4 weeks. Plus, Skyrizi is proven to help people achieve remission and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Individual results may vary. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's. Ready to take control of your Crohn's? Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's disease.
Control is everything to me.
Learn more at skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Typically, a high handicapper carries an index of 20 or more. Golf Monthly's Barry Plummer offers 4 tips if you're tired of that high handicap. First, choose the right equipment. Invest in a 5-wood, which is more forgiving than a 3-wood or 3 hybrid. It's a much better option for getting the ball in the air. Second, play for bogey on par 5s. Break the longer holes into manageable chunks, perhaps aiming to hit the green with 4 easy swings while also navigating away from the trouble along the way. 3, leave the sand wedge in the bag for chipping. Up and down percentages are almost twice as good when chipping a 9-iron over a sand wedge, and 3.5 times better with the putter. And finally, stop leaving your putts short. A 20 handicapper leaves 55% of their missed putts short of the hole. Give yourself a chance with every attempt and don't leave another putt short. Try these simple tips and let's see whether your handicap starts to come down. And have some fun out there. That'll help too. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
When you see this in your kitchen,
the stainless steel fridge is covered in fingerprints.
you hear this.
Leslie, people are going to think you were raised in a barn or by wolves or raised in a barn by wolves.
Fortunately, Wyman Stainless Steel 3-in-1 cleans, shines, and protects to give you the best shine. A spray and a wipe will have your fridge shining like a mirror.
Wow, my fridge looks brand new. Your fridge looks amazing, Leslie. Sorry, I was being a little dramatic earlier.
Your kitchen says a lot about you. Let it brag with Wyman.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you can choose the best coverage option for you. Because you know you. Like, you know that hiking isn't for you. Sure, it sounds nice to be in nature while exercising, but that's what a gym and houseplants are for. I mean, you don't even like walking upstairs. So why would you walk up a hill? For miles. To what? End up high in the air? Come on, you know you're scared of heights. Only you know you. So get coverage options within your budget with Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
And we're live from the living room as Doug eyes up the matchday spread.
He's reaching for the Buffalo wing. Perfect. Hang on, what's this? Oh, he's gone for a can of Pepsi too. Incredible. What a finish. Sensational combination. Look at the delight on his face. There's no doubt about it. It just tastes better. Match days deserve Pepsi. Food deserves Pepsi. Grab a pack of Pepsi Zero Sugar for today's match. It's poetry in motion.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140. Live and local, it's The Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Are you ready for today's Kings tidbit of the day? I say tidbit because it's a little bit of information, again, that we already knew. Jake Fisher, and he may have just written this in his report, and then it got aggregated as Jake Fisher is reporting. Jake Fisher's reporting the Kings have no interest in stretching Zach LaVine's contract or buying him out. They have no interest in buying out Zach LaVine's contract. I think we knew that, Alan. Did we not? I think we knew that a long time ago.
Yes, but to be fair, I would say that after, because we asked this yesterday, at least I did, after watching Acuff and just the young Kings kind of do their thing, could there be a renewed urgency to get something done? And we know that Scott Perry wants to be prudent and opportunistic. So the fact that, hey, I don't know if Jake's listened to the show or not, but the fact that, hey, we had a couple games, are the King, they moved on, and they did just waive DeRozan. So, hey, had some Cali Classic just started. DeRozan is now gone. Are they trying to get spicy and find a way to move off of Zach LaVine? No. Now, would we have assumed that? We would have, yeah, but not as egregious as some others. Completely necessary, no, but is any of it?
Jay, I don't know why Alan's turned into a Jake Fisher apologist. I feel like we pretty much knew that the Kings had no interest in buying out Zach LaVine. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Come on, Alan.
You should have put it out there, Style. Sources say.
Continue. It could have been more of a continue to signal that they will not be buying him out.
Yeah.
Versus
verbiage could have been a little bit. Yeah.
Yes.
Right. You're right. And again, what I saw had been aggregated, so I'm not sure. To your point, I don't know exactly what Jake Fisher said. More on all of that and the Kings and their cap situation with, you can rely on me for all that information, but Keith Smith from Spot Track at 5 o'clock is going to join us.
A Spot Track tried to reach out to you and steal you away yet?
Trying. They can't meet my price point.
Okay. Oh. Got to guarantee the money, that's why.
Yeah. Also, because, they wanted me to hit them up on the internet, and I said, I'm having troubles with the link. And they said, never, we're good. Never.
What about Bleacher Report? Alan Spot, did they reach out?
No, they better not.
Eric Pincus is over there. He's their guy.
Better not.
They're hearing my footsteps, Jay.
Okay.
Yeah.
You'll get back to them. like Kuminga and the Lakers. L.A., did you see that? L.A.
I did see something about Kuminga and the Lakers.
2 years. They're trying to give him 2 years, $20 million.
Oh, that's the Lakers.
That's the Lakers.
Okay,
yeah.
I thought you were talking about a different team when I heard you say that during the break.
No. This is from the Los Angeles Times. Jonathan Kuminga is a player the Lakers are after, according to people with knowledge of the situation.
You know why? They think he could they could plug him into basically the position that LeBron played.
Yeah. Yeah, he can't. He's not LeBron, but, they need a slasher type guy. They got a bunch of perimeter players who said L.A. is looking at a 2-year, $20 million deal for Kuminga, the sort of athletic wing the Lakers need to start at small forward.
Yeah, I would think the Kings could top that if they wanted. But I know yesterday we texted Anthony Slater, who's very close to the Kuminga camp. He says that the Kings aren't willing to get or can't get to the price point that Kuminga's looking at right now. So
yeah,
we'll continue to monitor that situation. I wonder if that comes up tomorrow. But, when you have a GM talk about free agents, they don't want to talk about, we're going to offer this guy this much. Or, if they mention a guy that they don't have yet, that typically means they ain't getting him. Because if somebody's still a possibility, you don't talk about it publicly.
I just have to.
Oh, here we go.
This is the stuff that you and Jay, it just grinds your gears.
What is
now,
this?
there is one more. Now, obviously, when things come out like this, obviously this is Jake Fisher going on the Bleacher Report app, and then NBA Central is watching,
yes,
and then they pull it, right?
Yeah.
So it says, DeMar DeRozan is interested in returning to Toronto. That's from Jake Fisher. That was 50 minutes ago.
Mm-hmm.
Right after they post about Zach LaVine, okay? After that, this is from NBA Central 28 minutes ago. Draymond Green and LeBron James are planning to hang out this week, per Shams.
Who cares?
Complete waste of everybody's time.
17 minutes
Complete
ago.
waste of everybody's time.
17 minutes ago. Giannis Antetokounmpo reportedly wants LeBron James in Miami, per Shams.
Reportedly. Okay. Oh, you just.
That Draymond hangout one, it got me good.
That's a bad one. Bad. That's bad aggregating is what that is.
It is.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Max is hanging on. Hey, Max, you're on the drive, guys. How are you?
Hey, how you guys doing today?
Good. What's up?
Awesome. Well, first of all, I want to congratulate the Kings, and I'm obviously really happy about Acuff. That's the guy I wanted, and he's shown out. He might have had a little bit of a nervous start, but I see star potential. The second thing that I want to say is just maybe a new rule for soccer, just to make it more enticing. Is why don't we start with penalty kicks first? And if you get up to 2-0 or whatever, it's going to make the game so much more exciting, and just make it 10 more feet out. That's my proposal to just soccer fans, because we just watched a 0-0 game, and it's all the way, hour, 2 hours into it, and all these guys flopping and stuff. I think we should start with penalty kicks first. So those are my two things I want to say.
All right. Thank you, Max. Yeah, I think most fans agree with you on Acuff, and I think very few fans agree with you on the penalty kicks. But how about you?
Yeah, I thought because it's the extra time.
That's a very American view, though. Just get on with it.
Yeah, I do wonder, because penalty kicks are supposed to be, in theory, they're exciting, but I think how you get to them matter. And if you were to ask a soccer fan, I do not know this, but if you were to ask a soccer fan, would you rather see a 1-0 game with an actual goal or to see a really fun shootout? I think they'd want to see a goal in the real game, right? Mm-hmm. They want to see a real goal.
But shootouts or whatever, what do you call them? PK?
Yeah.
They're exciting.
They are, but Max didn't find it exciting.
Yeah.
And they were excited. Well, that's because you've already been locked in for 2 hours of just nothingness. Mm-hmm. Now if it was 2-2 and then you go to shootouts, I think that game's looked at differently.
See, I think what you said, a soccer fan probably looks at that with disdain, the way I, as a baseball fan, would be upset if somebody said, it's 0-0 in the ninth inning, and this baseball game, nothing's happened.
You're right.
It's
yeah.
There's a lot that's happened.
Right. I mean, it depends. Now it feels like Max is somewhat of a casual soccer fan.
I don't know. I don't make assumptions about Max.
But I'm glad that he threw his opinions in the hat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, speaking of Acuff, this is from DJ44, Kings fan on X. And I believe DJ44 is talking to some Nets fan. Remember, we started the show talking about how some Nets fans are taking shots at Acuff for some reason. And DJ44 says, your team picked a great player too. Quit being weirdos. And that's it.
Going back and forth.
That's a nice way to say it, but yeah, very direct. Quit being weirdos.
Yeah, leave it be.
Uh-huh.
Or what, I mean, it's not going to go anywhere, so maybe we should just get used to it. These guys are forever. All these guys are going to be linked, but that second tier after the top 4 guys, I think they're all going to be linked. I think that Acuff is going to be linked maybe even higher than that. I finally saw some clips of Caleb Wilson, But I think everything is on everybody's trying to prove that they were the correct pick. One more quick thing on Max. So, Max, if the shootouts just end, would the game just be over?
Yeah.
That's the last thing.
Yeah.
They won in PKs 4-3. Game over. We just don't play the soccer game?
Maybe that's what he was getting at.
So
get on with it. Save everybody time.
Yeah.
I believe that was his plan.
Okay. I just had to double check that.
Uh-huh.
I was double checking.
Yeah. But I think, and I know we said this earlier, with the Nets, some of their fans coming after the Kings, and then there are other Nets fans that are just, obviously, they're stating some concern, some trepidation over the fact that the Nets didn't take Acuff. They're scared that, wow, what if the Kings got the better player? What if the Nets passed on somebody and the Kings got him, and he's going to be better than the guy the Nets got?
That would be refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
I think
for them, it would be horrifying.
Yeah. Well, I saw them even bringing up, I saw one outlet, they were even bringing up Igor Demin and how Igor's been balling out, but no one's talking about it, and of course, they were comparing the stats to Acuff. Okay, well, Igor is not a rookie. What are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
It's okay, guys. You guys got a good squad. You drafted 5 first-rounders last season.
They don't have one. Yeah. It's okay. You don't have to make them feel
Well, they got a young squad. They got a young squad.
I'm glad you brought that up because I was thinking of this watching that game against the Nets. Ideally, you want your second-year players in Summer League to look like they don't belong there, that they're a little irritated that they have to be there, and that they're taking that out on the other team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, if they don't do that, that doesn't mean, you got a bust, but ideally that's what you want. And I have seen a little of that in Dylan Cardwell. He plays that way all the time anyway.
Yeah.
But, you want a guy in the second year to stand out in Summer League like, oh, he's kind of playing a little bit of a different game than these other guys.
Yeah. Well, and that is how I think it should look, and I'm trying to think of other guys, and that's where the tweener conversation comes up, because I remember when, my guy, Hot Honey Jones, he was in I think it was the Rising Stars G League game when it was out there in San Francisco.
You keep saying he's your guy, but then you say things that make me
No,
think
he is my guy.
guy.
I'm just saying it was him. It was, I think, Scal, Labissiere were out there, and clearly they were better than the other G Leaguers.
Yeah.
And again, that was in the Rising Stars game or All-Star game or whatever it was. So what you're seeing, as far as Igor is concerned, Nets fans, good for him. That's what we're seeing from Dylan Cardwell, and there's also a physical aspect of this too. I don't know, Whitey, and this is a really interesting direction. I don't know. I gave him his kudos a couple days ago after he made the game winner. I don't know if I'm seeing that from Nick Clifford.
No, I think that's fair. I mean, a little bit. He had the game winner in the first game.
Yeah.
But I'm with you. And again, that doesn't mean, oh, no. But I'm with you. We haven't really seen him stand out the way you'd ideally like a second year to.
And I'll do you one better. Let us not forget that last Summer League, Nick Clifford was basically the Darius Acuff. He was not bringing the ball up as much because they were doing the Devin Carter thing.
Right.
But they were running plays for Nick Clifford. You could argue that he was more, I guess you could say, more offensive focused. And it's only been 2 games.
He and Max both had really good summer leagues.
I think that they are going to need to have some type of conversation with Nick Clifford, just as far as who Scott Perry sees him as. We recently discussed, I don't know, about a couple segments ago, how looks like everybody on this team is starting to have a role, or it seems like they have a role. I don't know that Nick Clifford has a role yet, and they need to figure it out fairly quickly.
Yeah, I mean, that is part of what Summer League's about.
Well, I'm just saying they have to. These first 2 games didn't look like he had a role.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what happens when they get to Vegas.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that maybe that team identity is starting to come out a little bit? You go back to when Mike Brown was here. We don't really have a team identity. And now, last year we asked, what is the team identity? I feel like based on some of the things that Vivek Ranadive said last night, some of the things we're seeing about the types of players they're putting together, I don't think it's clear cut yet, but I think we're starting to see, all right, I see what type of team they're starting to put together, and I see what types of roles and identity some of these players are starting to embrace.
I agree with you, but I honestly feel as if last summer had the same vibes, to be honest with you. I mean, they went to the championship. It looked like they all had,
Remember who beat them, by the way? Do you remember?
The Hornets.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Hornets.
Mm-hmm.
So they went to the championship. It felt like good vibes. And, Doug I know Doug wasn't the coach, but, they have this young crew. And then the season started, and I get it. There's now 3 guys that are no longer on the team. Well, Schroeder, DeRozan, and technically right now Russ isn't. So those 3 guys ain't even on the team right now. So I understand it's going to be different, but I did feel similarly to this last summer league as well.
That's a great point. I hadn't thought of that, but I think the difference this year, if there is one, is the fact that you've got Acuff, who's probably going to be the trigger man for the big club, and he's part of it this year.
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, like we said, we were watching Neek do some things, but we knew it ain't going to look like this in the regular season. It might look kind of like this in the regular season because of Acuff.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. You want to give us a call if you want to shoot us a text. Let's see what Steven has on his mind right now. Hey, Steven, you're on the Drive, guys. What's going on? How are you?
I am good, boys. How are you guys doing?
Good.
It's been a while.
Yes, it has been. Glad to hear your voice.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad to hear yours. I don't hear Alan's yet, though. He doesn't say hi to me anymore. He doesn't like me. So, I mean, I get it, dude. It's all right.
Welcome to the club.
Hi, Steven.
Listen,
I hate you.
Hey, buddy. You know what video I watch every blue moon? It's the recording when you and Watkins were doing the midday together, and I called in and I tried to get your measurements. I watch that every blue moon just because it's just funny to me just to hear Chris's reaction.
Well, what do you have it recorded?
I do, actually. I have a screen grab of it because I found it that hilarious. Yeah, no, I'm going to own it.
Fair enough.
So, real quick, I never realized, so watching Scott build this team the last couple of years now, last couple of drafts, let's just say, I'm starting to see his vision. And it just really, I was really reflecting on how, I don't want to say bad we had it when the vest was here, but dang, there was a lot of hope, flying around everywhere, man. I was really getting loaded off of that hopium for sure, even back then, because now I'm watching how a team is kind of really supposed to be built, prioritizing the young guys, having some veteran leadership to kind of coach the young guys and kind of help coax them along. And it's been really a breath of fresh air to watch Scott cook, because I was kind of hesitant after the first year watching him in this draft. Now, man, it's like after this draft, it's like, okay, man, I see the vision. You're really kind of helping to give Doug the tools to kind of help him succeed, along with, on the same hand, giving these players a nice, good platform to succeed as well. So, and on a side note, just for discussion purposes, can you imagine if basketball had hockey-style substitutions and how epic that would be? You guys have a good day. I love you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steven. Was it the Kings or some team where they were subbing out 5 at a time? Who was it the Kings?
You see that sometimes, Summer League or something?
Yeah, Summer League, or if they're just bad.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? All y'all get out.
I think it's called The System. There's a type of, I know Davis used to run this, Davis High, because I went and saw Ryan Kreidler play one time. And basically, my point is, it's like you have 5 on and you take them off and that fresh 5 in, and you're just pushing tempo, and you're trying to get a certain number of shots up. It's just breakneck speed.
I don't like that.
No, I'm not saying it's great, but I don't know how popular it is anymore.
Yeah.
But that's an approach.
Two
right,
different
next 5
teams.
Come in, phew, go get them.
Two different teams.
You play at such pace that you can't do it for too long. So you got to come off and get a rest. By the way, Ryan Kreidler is really having a good season for the Minnesota Twins.
So he made it, huh?
He's doing well, playing shortstop, center field.
Can you ask him don't ask him this, but how long do you got to play to, get your pension?
We'll have him on.
I think it's 3.
You can.
That's it.
You got to have 3 in this to start the clock and collect one. Yeah. Then you max out.
That's not bad. He can get there.
Yeah.
Got to be MLB service, 40-man roster service though.
So it has to be what? A total
if it's just
of
40 man and not. Yeah, if it's 40 man, I think he's in. Yeah.
Right.
If it's
40
major
man
league
is-
service days or whatever, I don't know. But 40 man, I think he's in.
He's
40
in.
man is
Yeah.
means you're on the big league club.
See, we'd have him on. Talk some dollars.
Well, we could.
Nothing else.
That's it.
We could do that.
We don't care about how you're playing.
Yeah.
What's your pocket
I got a
for?
question. Yeah, you want to know about hitting a curveball or the majors? What's like, nah, when's he get his bench?
Yeah. No, I had a question about arbitration. I just wanted to know.
When is he ARB eligible?
When's the Zelle come through?
Yeah, I just need to know these things. That's all.
Big Al. You want to talk to Big Al, your buddy? Big Al, what's up? You're on with Whitey and Ellen.
Hello, mon ami. Hey, and you just said the happy word. I got to take a moment. Mr. Kreidler, damn, I'd love to hear him again. You know, Whitey, when I'd call in there too.
Yes,
so
yes.
That's exciting news. That's exciting news for him. That's great for his son.
Yes.
Listen. I'm so old, and I'm an Aztec. Damn, I knew him and read his reporting from the San Diego Union, which is, by the way, 10 times better than your Sacramento Bee. I'm telling you that right now.
Wow. Al, you're pushing it. You're pushing it, Al.
Back in the 70s.
Okay.
Back in the 70s.
All right.
80s. Anyways, all right, so you got a good dude, and I won't talk about those other clowns down south you don't like, but I did find this. When you talked about the five swap in and out, and they showed him when they picked up, picked up Colin Sexton. Did you ever see the highlights of that game when Alabama had two guys, fouled out, they lost guys to injury, and it was 3-on-5, and Sexton went off. They didn't win the game, but he went off in like 11 or 12 points in 3 minutes. It was one of the greatest events I ever saw. They're double teaming him, and he's still jacking threes and blowing through down the lane and stuff. It was one of the greatest performances I ever saw. No wonder he was legit when he came out of the draft that year. Yeah.
All right, Al. Thank you.
Same shit.
Yeah, appreciate it. I'm going to look that up. I don't remember that. I should remember that. I'm going to look that up. One of the cool things about basketball, if you run out of players, it's like, well, however many you got, you put them out there.
Yeah. Well, and I saw this. It was on Instagram. I don't know if they also posted it on their X, but it basically was all these players that had these crazy summer leagues, and I get it. This is actually something that you would post, Whitey, because it would make everybody chill out a little bit. Apparently, Markelle Fultz had a crazy summer league. Throwback Denzel Valentine had a crazy summer league, and they were, just saying, hey, that's it. Remember when these guys went crazy in summer league? And obviously, what they're really doing is, these guys are not stars in the league, but I don't have time for that. You know what I mean? I don't have time for that. It's time to overreact.
Tony Ray Harvey says Doug Christie implemented hockey substitutions a couple of times during that long losing streak.
That's what it was. Thank you, Tony Ray Harvey. I know I saw it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, hopefully none of that this go around.
Dylan Cardwell also said the Kings will regain a home court advantage. He talked about how important it was to defend the home floor, in Summer League. The Kings have not done a very good job of that.
Best fans in the world.
Mm-hmm.
They deserve better.
But as we've discussed, the more you look at it, you find that home court in the NBA at large does not have the impact it used to have.
Right. We saw that even throughout the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's not even about, this team is undefeated at home. You shouldn't have a losing record at home. Can we start there? I'm not saying you got to be undefeated, but you should play better at home.
Yeah. You get carried away, or I allow myself to get a little carried away during Summer League, and I wonder how good this team could be this year.
Now you're doing it.
No, I wonder. I didn't say this team will be good this year. I said I wonder how good this team could be this year. This team, if things break, this could be a low 40s win team.
Don't do that, Whitey.
It could.
I'm going to jump in there for Allen. Don't do that, Whitey.
Because
you're going to regret it.
He said the same thing a few days ago.
Did he?
Thought he did.
Well, I said they could. We're saying the same thing in different ways. I said they could mess around for that last play-in. Yeah, it's around 40. They can mess around.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of things would have to go right.
You guys need to stop. You guys are going to be regretting this.
It's summer league-itis.
Because you look at the Kings and we view them in a vacuum and, wow, they're so much better than last year and this guy's doing well. Then you look at the teams like Utah and what they're doing, and it's a little scary.
It is. And here's the tough part about this. Every time we have this conversation and we feel good about it, there is one very easy way to get sent back to reality. And that easy way of being sent back to reality is name the teams that the Kings are going to be better than. That's the problem. Every time I start to feel better, it's that simple. Because I'm telling you, fellas, it's the Grizzlies.
Maybe.
Phoenix? They're right there, maybe.
I guess. That's it. And Phoenix was an 8 seed.
Portland?
Nah, they ain't getting Portland. They're not getting Portland.
Clippers?
It's interesting. Clippers and the
Pelicans?
Here are the question marks, right? And you bump them on up to be right at that 11 seed.
It's a useful exercise.
Pelicans, Grizzlies, Clippers, Suns. And I don't really feel comfortable with 2 of those. But that's it. As far as I'm concerned.
Well, if Tomas is the 6th man, as some are suggesting, that could.
Oh, yeah.
That could.
Warriors, if they don't do anything, too old, that would get you to 10.
Conversation continues when we come back, and we'll also look at how the Cleveland Cavaliers plan to win this summer on Sactown Sports.
The Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Alan Stiles. After 2 seasons in Sacramento, the Kings have parted ways with forward DeMar DeRozan. With one of the team's top scorers and veteran leaders now gone, who will step up to fill DeRozan's shoes?
Your exclusive home for Kings basketball.
Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When you see this in your kitchen,
The stainless steel fridge is covered in fingerprints.
you hear this.
Leslie, people are going to think you were raised in a barn or by wolves, or raised in a barn by wolves.
Fortunately, Wyman Stainless Steel 3-in-1 cleans, shines, and protects to give you the best shine. A spray and a wipe will have your fridge shining like a mirror.
Wow, my fridge looks brand new. Your fridge looks amazing, Leslie. Sorry, I was being a little dramatic earlier.
Your kitchen says a lot about you. Let it brag with Wyman.
Wow, what is all this? These screens, the food.
All for the game, bro.
Let us pitch in.
No need. I'm saving $1,000 bundling my wireless and internet with T-Mobile. I've got it all covered.
Goal!
Here to score big with T-Mobile. Families save up to $1,000 a year when they bundle 5G home internet with 4 phone lines on Experience Beyond. Compared to regular rates after third line free on Experience Beyond plan with internet bundle discount via monthly bill credits and auto-pay discount. Credit stop if you cancel or change plans.
Capital Casino is conveniently located in downtown, 411 16th Street, and has been a part of the greater Sacramento area for over 20 years. They offer the best variety of games in the region in a safe and friendly environment, and there's plenty of parking, all well lit and monitored by security. Come have a great meal at the cafe and restaurant inside. Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. But please always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hi, I'm Justin Gingery from the law firm of Gingery, Hammer, and Associates. When you have been injured by the fault of another, you will want advice you can trust. If you know an attorney you can trust, I hope you call that person. But if you don't, please call me. I promise I will be the attorney you can trust. Along with my partner and associates, I have been helping accident survivors recover for their injuries for over 25 years. And we can help you. There's no charge for calling, so please call us today.
When you get an injury, just call Gingery.
Dawn or dusk, I'm on the hunt. Skeeter here, Sacramento Yellow Mosquito and Vector Control District, and I'm wearing Skeeter Vision, night vision goggles that light up skeeters at dawn or dusk like the 4th of July. Mosquito, 12 o'clock. Got him. So fight the bite by wearing long sleeves and pants at dawn or dusk when they're most active. Apply insect repellent and drain stagnant water. It's a breeding ground.
Dawn or dusk, the Sacramento Yolo Mosquito and Vector Control District reminds you to fight the bite. For more information or to report problems, go to fightthebite.net.
In celebration of 80 years of 49ers football, Sactown Sports is counting down 80 of the most memorable moments that have shaped the team's storied legacy and winning tradition. Here's today's faithful flashback.
Number 47, the Giant wild card comeback.
On January 5th, 2003, the San Francisco 49ers completed the second largest comeback in NFL playoff history, rallying from a 24-point deficit to defeat the Giants 39-38 in an NFC wildcard game. Trailing 38-14 in the third quarter, Jeff Garcia led a 25-point unanswered surge, capped by a Ty Streets touchdown. In the final minute, the Giants lined up for a potential game-winning field goal. A bad snap forced a scramble situation, and each team was called for a penalty after the incomplete pass. So then another field goal attempt for the win. One more bad snap prevented a clean kick, and the 49ers get the dramatic win in a wild card comeback.
Faithful flashbacks on Sactown Sports 1140. Download the app and listen to The Drive Guys.
The Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Alan Stiles.
On Sactown Sports 1140.
Anything going on today with Zach LaVine? No. It's being reported that the Kings have no interest in buying him out. Someone in the chat suggested sorry, I don't have it up right now, or I give you a name credit, but someone suggested, it's just posturing by the Kings. I don't think it's posturing. I think it's just the reality where the Kings are. They would love to trade him if they could. They can't. He opted in. Bless him. To stretch him, and we'll ask Keith Smith about that when he joins us top of the hour. But it just doesn't make sense for them to buy him out and stretch him.
Yeah, and
just doesn't financially. You don't really benefit from it.
No, I saw somebody saying, "Hey, they'll revisit this if they can't trade him after the trade deadline," which was a short conversation that was had about DeMar DeRozan last go-around.
I don't understand that. At that point,
I don't either.
Yeah, you're close.
You're 3 months away.
You're having him come off the books.
Right, you're 3 months away. DeMar was actually more fascinating because he had the extra year, you know what I mean? And you're wondering, okay,
yeah. How about this, Alan? Okay, you said if he's not traded, then you can't really bring anybody in. Because I'm thinking the amount of money you owed him at that point would be less. So if you stretched it, it's less money that you're stretching. But why would you do it? Why would you be freeing up cash after the trade deadline? For what?
Well, I don't think it would be about cash. It would be about maybe Neek needs more minutes or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't think they're going to do it. I mean, you're going to blink and it's February. What's the point of gumming up the situation?
Yeah.
I don't see it. Now, on the flip side, obviously the Kings are trying to spend less money. So whenever that does happen, kind of the idea of, $49 million comes off the books and now we can go get, players that equal $49 million. Well, no, because they don't want to be back in this similar financial situation. So there'll only be so much money that they'll feel comfortable spending.
Well, the Cavaliers are apparently very comfortable spending $273 million over 4 years on Donovan Mitchell. So that would keep him in Cleveland through the 2031 season. Then you've got reports that the Cavs are close on an agreement with James Harden. They're figuring out the particulars of that, but they're looking at a lucrative multi-year deal. And a lot of people say, that what they give Harden may depend on what they could end up giving LeBron as the Cavs position themselves to win the summer. Donovan Mitchell's back. Harden's back. And look who's coming home. Come on home, LeBron.
Shams was on the Stephen A. Smith show. So they got Shams everywhere now.
Yeah.
When the Sixers got Jaylen Brown, LeBron James is taking their pitch really seriously.
Is it possible that Shams is actually just a robot?
I look at it when I talk to teams now as kind of a hierarchy of Cleveland, Miami, and Philly with some other teams on the peripheral.
That's his report on the LeBron situation.
That's his.
Here's what the Athletic. This is Amick, Varden, Tony Jones, Krasinski, Jackson, and Nick Friedel. Here's what they have. They have Cleveland Cavaliers. It's been quiet as of this writing. No one knows. That was, I believe, this morning they posted this. And then he's got the Denver Nuggets. Denver Nuggets have been an underdog in this race since the start. They should be thrilled to have made it a full week without being officially eliminated from contention. The question now is whether they're truly under consideration. And Golden State Warriors, looks like all signs are the Warriors are out.
That's what it seems like.
Miami Heat, they still need some help with their roster from a cap perspective. They have 10 players on the roster. Minnesota Timberwolves. Philadelphia 76ers, from a pure basketball standpoint, Sixers can offer James a legitimate chance at a championship.
Yeah, I don't know. This whole thing, I don't think there's, and that's the other part of this, based on those names, I don't know where you would go, and it's just who LeBron is at this point in time. Where you're we're just gone are the days of Kevin Durant to the Warriors, book it in Sharpie, they're going to win it. LeBron James, I mean, he went to the Rockets, Kevin Durant did, and they got worse. LeBron James to the blank, book him.
I think he would help the Cavs, maybe a lot. They're close. You know, he's a good player.
No, I understand that.
And
but
that's a very good team.
We're gonna be waiting. Playoffs are gonna come around, and you're gonna say, Allen, it's James Harden in the playoffs. You have two unprovens, and you have a 47-year-old LeBron James.
Who's very proven.
Very proven, for sure. But I don't know how. I don't trust any of the names that have come out so far. The team I would trust the most is obviously the Heat. That's probably the team I would trust the most. I don't trust any team in the West. And LeBron is not going to the West. I can tell you that right now. That's probably why the Warriors are out.
Yeah, Warriors, Minnesota, Denver. Thanks for coming.
Yeah. If LeBron is, come home to the East.
Yeah.
Come home, James.
Come on home, D.
He wants to come back to the East where he knows, hey, I'm at least going to have a shot at this. I am not dealing with no Wembys or Jokic's or any of that, or Shea's. Why?
I think the Cavs is the best spot for him. Look, I'm not trying to, backpedal because I said, oh, it's the Warriors. Looks like they're out. I'm not. It's not a prediction. I'm trying to look at what makes the most sense for him, and I think the Cavs make the most sense. They're really close. They're really good. He could make a difference, assuming that he really is intent on getting back on a team that has a shot at least getting to the finals. I think they make the most sense.
You're probably right. I mean, more than the Heat, though?
Yes. The Heat are they got a lot of questions. Roster-wise. They'll be good.
Yeah.
But, I mean, championship? Are they a contender right now? They don't even have a full roster.
So all they're doing is adding LeBron to the team that they just had last season. That's all they're doing.
Well, LeBron and they have Giannis.
No. I'm saying the Cavs.
Oh. Pretty much. Yeah, I'm trying to think if they did anything else. They lost Keon, so, I mean.
Well, and see, now they're going to move on from somebody like that. Maybe they wouldn't be in this position if they had played him more to begin with.
And, yeah, I don't know how closely you follow it, but analytically they actually beat the Knicks, so they're really close.
Can you imagine, though? I mean, that is the perfect situation for LeBron where he gets to say, you guys need me, but it's all kind of based on that choke job in the first.
Right.
I think that series goes differently. I'm not saying the Knicks don't win it, but once you lost that, it was just.
That, I think, is a big part of a potential appeal for him there. He gets to go there and kind of rescue them.
Again.
Yeah. Right.
Again.
I was going to retire, but I'll come back and save you guys and win another championship for Cleveland.
Right.
Before I'm done.
Well, and the other part of it too is it's one of those situations where if you're the Heat, I know they're claiming that him and Pat Riley have mended things, but LeBron is kind of a control freak, and he probably just loves the idea of leading. This might be I might be reaching here, but the idea of leading Pat Riley on and then saying no to him.
We'll come back and see how many teams Allen could come up with that he thinks the Kings are going to be better than next year. It's coming up on Sactown Sports.
Like and subscribe to the Sactown Sports 1140 YouTube channel at Sactown Sports 1140 to get the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Matt and Kayla, and the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Alan Stiles on demand and at your fingertips. Get your fix of the Sacramento Kings, 49ers, Giants, Athletics, NFL, NBA, and the latest in sports and entertainment all in one place at Sactown Sports 1140 on YouTube. Your local sports leader, Sactown Sports 1140.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Carmichael Dave here. So proud to talk about my new friends at Pest Pros, where they are family owned, they are locally rooted, and they are committed to serving Northern California. I got a mouse problem at my house, and I don't like mice. I got a cockroach problem at my house, and I don't like cockroaches. That's a real thing. You're going to get pest protection somewhere. Why not get it at a place that is locally owned and operated? Longtime Kings fans and partners, and the community, you've spoken. They're back-to-back Sacramento favorites. So if you got pest control, you don't have Pest Pros. Step up to the pros with their all-star lineup. Don't just make the call, make the right call. Go to pestprosps.com, Sacramento grown, family owned, or call them at 916-588-9345. That's 916-588-9345. Step up to the pros at Pest Pros.
Hey, I'm not one to say I told you so, but do you remember last year when I told you that Pure Talk was hands down the best wireless company that I'd ever used? Well, some of you were skeptical, but Consumer Reports just asked 120,000 people to rate every wireless company in America, including the big boys. Well, guess which company was the only company to get 5 stars in every category? Yeah, Pure Talk. Coverage, support, value, data. 5 stars across the board. No service contracts, no cancellation fees, just great U.S. customer service on a crazy fast 5G network for a fraction of what you've been paying. I'm not going to say I told you so, but I will encourage you one more time to dial pound 250, say micro, and switch to a 5-star American wireless company that won't let you down. Pure Talk.
Sacramento's best selection, best quality, and lowest prices on kitchen and bath products are at the new Anova Cabinet and Stone. For a limited time, get stunning new quartz countertops starting at just $159. That's right, only $159 for gorgeous quartz countertops. Listen to this. For a limited time, cabinets for kitchens and bathrooms are up to 50% off. Yes, up to 50% off new cabinets. It's a must-see. The new Anova Cabinet and Stone at Florin Road and Highway 99. Learn more at AnovaCabinetStone.com. HagenOaks.com.
Whether it's date night, family night, or buddy night, Hagen Oaks has a bay for you. Reserve one of 3 Top Tracer bays from 6 to 11 p.m. through HagenOaks.com, and only those 3 bays are reservable. The rest of the driving range is still open for walk-ups. Play golf on world-famous courses while the kids try interactive games. Head to the Hangout for great food, cold drinks, and live sports on the TVs. Add monthly live music and putting tournaments, and you've got more than a driving range, you've got a night out. Hagen Oaks Golf Complex. Swing by and swing away.
The Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Alan Stiles on Sactown Sports 1140.
Alan, how many teams have you come up with that we can say right now we think the Kings are/will be better than next year?
Well, I think we
maybe
had
none. I don't mean to imply that you should have a long list or anything.
Sorry, I just saw this from Shams.
The robot.
Pistons are trading Karis LeVert in 2 seconds to the Bucks for Taurean Prince and Gary Harris. Pistons will create a trade exception from the deal and savings while Bucks acquire LeVert and pick up assets. And the reason I just saw, Detroit is because somebody early on said, hey, so what's the deal with Duren? What happened? I don't know. This is what happens when the aggregation sensation gets going a little early. But it feels like
they're far apart, and Detroit has the hammer, so nothing's happening. They don't have to do anything.
Yeah, it's almost a weird version of a Kuminga thing in a way.
But, yeah, there's a lot of similarities because he's a restricted free agent. But I was reading today, maybe you saw this too, some people are saying, and this might have come out of Detroit, that Cleveland bringing back Donovan Mitchell, that sends a warning signal to Detroit.
That's a good call.
You have to make sure you're serious about your roster, and they only have one max guy right now, which is Cade. So what are you going to do?
Yeah. Play stupid games, Detroit. Win stupid prizes. I don't really know. Now, look, he wasn't great in the playoffs, but, yeah, I think there's a little bit of an overreaction here, especially with, the money, like you said, that the Donovan Mitchells and the Trae Youngs are getting. This guy's 22 years old. You got the vibes going. This is where you make a decision. You handle the future in the future, right? You don't mess up the present because you're worried about how it will look in a couple years. Not in this situation.
Did Donovan Mitchell make the right move signing now when if he waited a year, he could have signed a 5-year, $353 million extension next summer as a 10-year veteran.
Yeah, I believe he's on the same path as Jokic. That's what they were talking about this morning.
Just the amounts are so obscenely, absurdly high. 4 for $273. Well, I think I want to hold out for 5 and $353.
Nah, I'll just take the pay cut.
Right.
Just shave it a little bit.
Oh, thank you. We appreciate that.
Anything for
You're
you.
saving us a lot of money.
And hopefully it nets them LeBron James.
Yeah, and you want to be safe and provide for your family.
That's right. And I think I can do it with $278 million. That's only 78 more than what Rich Paul says isn't a lot of money. And here's the thing, Whitey, that's only one of his contracts. Actually, I saw a list earlier. Did you see that? Players that have crossed into the $500 million range.
No, I didn't see that.
So it's it's LeBron, KD, Steph, and the whole point is it's basically those, Joel Embiid, I believe, and then you have Donovan Mitchell in there as well, and some people are saying, well, that doesn't necessarily fit, but hey, somebody wanted to pay him, so it is what it is. But the list, Whitey, that we came up with prior to the break, yeah, it's not a lot, Whitey. It's not.
That's okay.
In a perfect world, right? In a perfect world, I think the Pelicans will probably finally trade Trey Murphy for their 7 first-rounders or whatever they want.
Speaking of the Pelicans, former Pelican, right? Kevon Looney going to the Lakers.
That's right, going to the Lakers, 1 year, $3.5 million, something like that. I mean, if somebody's still paying him at this point, and I don't even know how many games he played for the Pelicans.
He's a UCLA guy.
That's right.
Come on home.
I think he's actually from Milwaukee, but, that's the whole thing with him and Jordan Poole. But you got to throw the Pelicans in there.
Yes.
You got to throw the Grizzlies in there. I know you don't necessarily believe that, but
we don't scary about that.
We don't have a choice.
Yeah. This is teams that the Kings are better than.
No. Could be.
All right.
How are we going to get them into the play-in? That's really what this exercise is. I feel like it's probably disrespectful to the Clippers, but it's slim pickings.
They're in a quasi rebuild themselves.
Yeah.
Not a hybrid rebuild, but a kind of a quasi rebuild.
So I got the Pelicans, the Grizzlies, the Clippers. You guys are trying to make me put the Suns in there. I don't really want to, but I don't really have a choice again.
Mm-hmm.
The Suns, that has the Kings right now in the 11th seed.
Ooh.
And then the last one, Whitey, I don't know. I got a weird feeling. These teams don't want to tank anymore, but I don't know. I don't know that Kyrie's going to finish the season with the Mavericks. I think they might move him and go younger again. I don't know. But it's either going to be the Mavericks or the Warriors. Some combination of those 6-7 teams is how the Kings pull this off to sneak to the 10 seed. And you always could have, a Rockets implosion or a Timberwolves.
Heaven forbid a catastrophic injury to somebody on
yeah,
another team.
I guess earlier we were talking about the Blazers.
So you're saying they're in. Basically, you're saying the Kings are in the play-in.
I'm not at all.
They have to win 2 to get into the playoffs proper.
Oh, the playoffs?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Blazers, I don't know what they're going to do, but with Ja and the 17 point guards they have, I'm not going to disrespect them. Honestly, I feel like I'm disrespecting the Suns, but somebody's going to have to.
Then don't do it.
And the Clippers. Well, there's no other teams.
Well, okay.
There's no other teams. I think they're going to be fighting for that 10. Realistically, Whitey, as of right now, it's just July 7-7. Realistically, I think they probably sit there in the 12 seed.
I think I said last segment, I believe I said this, that, hey, if things break right for the Kings, maybe they are in the low 40s in wins.
Mm-hmm.
And Jay, even in the hallway after we were done, as I would come back in the studio, he was like, I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to save you. Don't do it. Don't say it.
But here's the problem, though. I understand where Jay's coming from. The Warriors were the 10 seed with 37 wins. I just said the Kings will probably end up being the 12 seed. I just don't see them only winning 26 games, right? I just don't see them being that bad again. I mean, they won 22.
Everything's going to be different because we're not going to have a third of the league trying to lose every game. I think that's going to really throw the numbers off what we, in some cases, expect.
Yeah, you're probably right. 26. I mean, they won 22 this past season. And that was kind of by design.
Mm-hmm.
You got to because that's the thing. Even if they got to 30, that's the 11 seed. So I think that's the problem. They're going to end up with probably between 30 and 35 wins and be better, right? Over 10 games better, but that ain't enough.
So who are the relegation sensations, the way it looks right now?
Well, that's what's so funny. Last season it was 22. Right? 22 wins, but with teams actually trying, it could be about 30, right? Those teams probably all tanked about 8 games last season. It's going to be tight.
Got to be under 30 because we're talking about 3 teams. Isn't it 3 teams that are relegated?
Well, you have the Wizards at 7. Wizards won 17 games, which is still crazy to say out loud. The Pacers, they're not going to be there. I'm looking at the Nets and the Bulls.
I knew you were. I could tell by the look on your face that you were looking at the Nets.
The Nets, the Bulls, the Bucks, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's about it.
Speaking of the Bucks, what'd you make of this? I know we touched on this earlier. Let's say you're a fan of the Milwaukee Bucks. You live in the great state of Wisconsin. You live in Milwaukee. And Giannis, in his farewell video, said, I believe the city of Milwaukee is blue collar. It's people that work extremely hard every single day. They give all their hard-earned money just to come watch the Bucks, to come and feel something, to come to be a part of us. I hope that I was able to represent them the best that I could. And I was like them. I showed up to work, did everything. I was willing to do all the dirty work just like them. I hope that bringing a trophy to the city meant something to them because it meant so much to me. Giannis Antetokounmpo in his farewell video. If you're a Milwaukee Bucks fan, how are you supposed to feel about that? How do you think you'd feel?
I mean, obviously, it could be viewed as a little tone deaf. I think there were the right intentions, but at the end of the day, relatively speaking, Giannis is saying we all, did our jobs.
I want you to hear from my mouth. The city of Milwaukee will always be in my heart. This is my home. This is a place that I had my kids. It made me the man that I am today. That will never change no matter where I am. Milwaukee will always be my city, my team, my family. It's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. To me, I appreciate the effort to say something nice, but clearly that's not true because you're leaving. It's okay to say, I loved it here. It's time to move on. Just don't patronize me. You're trying too hard.
But that's what he always does.
I know. It's like, you know what? You're leaving. You're going to hurt some feelings. Deal with it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how he's always been, though.
Uh-huh.
That's why this thing has taken so long.
Yeah.
He probably wanted to be out. There was no need for him to play this last season. Absolutely no need. What a waste.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not getting younger. Just wasted everybody's time.
Yeah, we had great times here. You had good times. You're moving on. It's going to be tough on us for a while. We can deal with it.
Yeah.
We don't need you to try to cuddle us and tap us on the head. I love Milwaukee. Milwaukee's always my home, except when I'm not actually living there.
And we're all blue collar together.
Yeah, all of us. Come on. Why don't you all come with me to my next city?
Yeah.
Oh, boy, I wish I could take you all.
I wish Milwaukee could be in Miami.
Yeah. Then I would love Milwaukee even more. I get it. You're right. He's just trying so hard.
He is. That's how he's always been.
Mm-hmm. Keith Smith is going to join us, Spotrac NBA analyst and the front office show. We'll get a breakdown from him about where the Kings actually are right now, what their options are, whether the outlook is rosy or somewhat bleak. Next on Sactown Sports.
Take Sactown Sports with you everywhere you go with the Sactown Sports app. The most in-depth coverage of the Kings and 49ers. A library of written and video content. And all your favorite personalities all in one place. Download the Sactown Sports app today and get in on the action. Your local sports leader. Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-375-2922. 800-375-2922. 800-375-2922.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Wow, what is all this? These screens, the food.
All for the game, bro.
Let us pitch in.
No need. I'm saving $1,000 bundling my wireless and internet with T-Mobile. I've got it all covered.
Goal! Here to score big with T-Mobile. Families save up to $1,000 a year when they bundle 5G home internet with 4 phone lines on Experience Beyond. Compared to regular rates after third line free on Experience Beyond plan with internet bundle discount via monthly bill credits and auto-pay discount. Credit stop if you cancel or change plans.
Capital Casino is conveniently located in downtown 411 16th Street and has been a part of the greater Sacramento area for over 20 years. They offer the best variety of games in the region in a safe and friendly environment, and there's plenty of parking, all well lit and monitored by security. Come have a great meal at the cafe and restaurant inside. Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. But please always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Will?
When I was 50, my whole life fell apart. I lost my job, I lost my wife, I lost the house, I lost pretty much everything except for my life. When the IRS came calling, I just didn't have it in me. I felt like Wile E. Coyote, just waiting for that IRS anvil to drop.
Then Will found tax relief advocates.
I heard their advertisement on the radio, I wrote down the number, and I made the call that changed everything. The IRS gave me a bill for $40,000. Tax relief advocates got that down to $3,200. I've paid 9 cents on the dollar. Now that's a great deal in anybody's book.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Will did and call TRA for a consultation.
But for me, the real win is I got my life back.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-488-2578. 800-488-2578. That's 800-488-2578.
Hi, I'm Justin Gingery. One of the most common questions I receive is, what makes us different from other law firms? At Gingery, Hammer & Associates, we handle your case from beginning to the end. Whether your case reaches a settlement, whether it must go into litigation, or whether it has to go all the way to trial, we will be with you along the entire way. And because we are committed to your case, we are as invested as you are in making sure you get the outcome you deserve.
When you get an injury, just call Gingery.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140.
Live and local, it's The Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
We're hearing some information today on Jonathan Kuminga and the Lakers' apparent pursuit of him. We've heard a little bit more today about DeMar DeRozan and possibly Miami, possibly the Toronto Raptors. We are not hearing a lot lately about Jalen Duren and the Kings. Let's find out more about all of that and where the Kings are, what their financial situation looks like currently. With our next guest, nice enough to join us from Spa Track, NBA analyst there. Also, he's on the front office show, the great Keith Smith. How are you, Keith? How was your holiday or 4th of July holiday?
It was good. You know, when you work like adjacent to the NBA doing what I do, it becomes a little bit of another work day, but we still had time to sneak in a little bit of a barbecue and have some fun, so I'll take it.
What can you tell us, if anything, about Jalen Duren? Are the Pistons motivated, to move him? And if they were, how in the world could the Kings offer something that they would want?
Yeah, so it sounds like the Pistons are still in a place where their first priority is they'd like to keep Jalen Duren, but they don't want to pay him anywhere, never mind the 30% max that he qualified for by making All-NBA. Sounds like they don't even want to go to the 25% max for Jalen Duren, that they are more comfortable doing something that's somewhere in the range of $35, $37 million a year, gives them a little bit of flexibility. Now, they just agreed to a trade where they're going to move Karis LeVert to the Milwaukee Bucks. That trade's going to save them some money, so I'm not entirely sure what else going on here with the Pistons. They've got a couple other transactions lined up, so they're definitely up to some stuff here. So in that part of what that could be clearing room to work on some form of sign and trade with Jalen Duren, which at this point, that's the only way he's going to get somewhere else. Cap space around the league has dried up. There were only 3 teams that had it anyway. They're all just about out. So we're kind of down to, all right, if Jalen Duren's playing elsewhere, it's going to be via sign and trade, very likely, where the Pistons work something out. And if that was with the Kings, that would probably mean Domantas Sabonis maybe heading back to Detroit or off to a third team. We'll see, could Zach LaVine be involved, something like that, because the Kings would have to get their matching salary-wise.
So, Keith, and look, we're not trying to get the aggregation sensation going, but if I'm hearing you correctly, it does sound like this move from Detroit might signal a world where they don't bring Jalen Duren back? Because, things escalated so quickly last week, but then how it ended was essentially, hey, Detroit has ultimate say, and they don't want to move Duren, but then they didn't sign him. So that's why I think there are some fans out there that are just a little bit confused as to where this thing kind of got frozen. If they wanted to sign him, then just sign him.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's definitely restricted free agency is really hard on the players, as we saw last year with Jonathan Kuminga, Quentin Grimes, Josh Giddey, and Cam Thomas. Those guys were on the market until we were into August and September for a couple of them. So, it's just really hard because once cap space is gone, they really need the team to work with them. What I always try to remind people is everybody says, oh, well, they'll just sign and trade the guy. Well, a sign and trade is a three-party agreement. There's the original team, there's the player, and then there's the new team. So it's not just as easy as saying sign and trade. You got to get three parties to all agree to how this is all going to work and where it's all going to go. So I think we're very much in a position where let's see where the Pistons go. Like I said, I know from talking to folks with the organization, they would like to have Jalen Duren back, but they're not going to overextend on that next contract for him. And as long as they kind of have those restricted rights, they wield that hammer on him. This could come down to where we're talking a month from now, and it's the middle of August, which is normally the time when I'm supposed to have my feet up in the backyard, and we're still chasing around restricted free agent news.
Mm-hmm. Keith Smith with us. By the way, we appreciate your time today, especially because I know I saw on X you were really upset with the goaltending last night in the World Cup match. So thanks for bouncing back from that for us today.
Goodness, yeah. As a goalkeeper dad, nothing makes me a little more cranky than sloppy goalkeeping. And as our daughter said, and she's a pretty good goalkeeper herself, she's like, I could have done better than that, Matt. So, but it is what it is. As I said, it's summer basketball season anyway. I don't really care anymore.
Right. Does waiving DeRozan as the Kings, and we're still not sure if they're going to stretch him, and I know that matters, but would waiving DeRozan put the Kings under both aprons and bring the non-taxpayer MLE back into play for them?
Yeah, it brings some of the non-taxpayer MLE back into play. Definitely, they're now under both aprons comfortably. They're about $4 million under the luxury tax. They're about $9 million or so, a little less than that under the first apron. So that's about the amount of the non-taxpayer MLE they could use, because using that does hard cap you at that first apron. So think somewhere between $8-9 million is what they could use and still have the ability to fill out the roster. I think the bigger question becomes, I don't know who all they're using on right now, because the free agent market is really dried up to quite a bit here. But there are a couple guys where you could maybe split that up and sign a couple players with that non-taxpayer MLE. If they were to get off money in a trade, that could be a way that they could free up even more spending power. And as you said, they still have the right to turn DeMar DeRozan's $10 million in dead salary into only about 3.3, which that would, if they went that route, that would free up the ability to use the entire non-taxpayer MLE.
Which is about 15? Is that right?
Yeah, just over $15 million. Yep, in first year salary.
Keith, is there any world, as we see, the Kuminga market is not as robust as I think he would like it to be? Either way, he's signing some version of a prove-it deal. Not that you would necessarily choose the Kings over the Lakers, especially if you're getting 2 years, but is there any world where the conversation with him and the Kings pick back up if it hasn't already, even though they can't offer him, or they can't offer him the money that they wanted to offer him last season, or honestly, Keith, the role with Darius Acuff now kind of taking charge as the star? Do you think that door is pretty close to shut?
I mean, he's a former Warrior, and we know they love their former Warriors there in Sacramento. So I do think there's a chance we could still see him with the Kings, especially, again, as his market kind of dries up. I know there's a lot of interest with the Lakers, and it's important to note, unless they got something done in the last 30 minutes when I was out running my last errands before I head off to Summer League, the Lakers hadn't finalized any of their deals, meaning they haven't gone official yet. So they can still tweak and adjust some stuff. And the big one sounds like they're trying to do something with that DeAndre Ayton trade where maybe they can turn turn that into DeAndre Ayton becomes some sort of matching salary for Jonathan Kuminga coming in via sign-and trade, that would be a way the Lakers would like to do that, because otherwise the Lakers are stuck to, do you want to play for the minimum? And I think Jonathan Kuminga very clearly told us last summer he's not going to do that. That's not where he sees himself as a player. But so if the Lakers can turn it into that, otherwise, yeah, then the Kings start looking a lot more inviting, as even if it is, hey, I'll take the non-taxpayer for like a 1-year deal or a 2-year deal with some sort of option on year number 2, and I'll try to show everybody what I can do. Yeah, that could be the way I would go. If I'm the Kings, what I want to be kind of careful of here is if I'm making other moves to kind of reset my roster, reset what we're going to be, I want to be careful of putting too many roadblocks in front of some of our other younger guys, because those are the guys you're really looking to build around as you go forward. And I would love to see guys like Darius Acuff Jr., Keegan Murray, even Nick Clifford, Maxime Reynaud. I'd like to see those guys get room to kind of explore the studio space a little bit. Let's really see what these guys can do rather than putting some roadblocks. But last part I'll add on this, you can no longer go into season just saying, who cares if we win even 20 games? Because of the lottery reform, you have to at least put some baseline level of competitive team on the floor.
That's Keith Smith from Spot Track. I wanted to ask you, just from a front office standpoint, how would you evaluate the job Scott Perry has done in a little more than a year, just in terms of straightening out the roster and the finances?
Yeah, I think he's on his way. Yeah, the DeAndre Hunter trade was a little weird to me a year ago. That felt like we were kind of like, we got to do something. Let's do something here. But I like almost all of his other moves that he's made. I think he's kind of stayed the course with, we're not extending these guys, these veteran guys that they're not going to be part of our future. I think Keegan Murray's contract is perfectly fair, provided he grows into what I think he can be as a player. I love Darius Acuff. He was my favorite player in the draft. Not that he was my top player in my draft board, but I just love him. I think he's going to be a fantastic player, and I think the Kings really kind of holding firm when there was a lot of buzz of, hey, we might take this guy instead, which was obviously, hey, why don't you trade up here and you get your guy and we'll just pick the guy we want later. I let the Kings hold him firm and say, no, not doing it. We're going to stay where we are, and we'll play chicken with you and bet that you're not going to take him. I think they're on their way. I think they've done a good job kind of fixing things with the salary sheet and all that. And I'll even say, even if they do work a deal for Jalen Duren, I think Jalen Duren is still, people forget this guy came in the league so young. Yeah. He's still such a young player. He can grow with this young core that they're putting together. So I'm very positive on the job that they've done so far.
Keith, ever since it's only been a day, but ever since the Kings moved on from DeMar DeRozan, now fans want to know, okay, now Zach LaVine next. And we've obviously tried to throw him in trades. There's also an idea of, after a trade, or if they're not able to trade him, then they could buy him out after the trade deadline. Keith, can you just kind of lay out, I guess as far as we're concerned, why that probably won't happen? Or do you have any thoughts about that being a possibility?
Yeah, I think the Kings are going to still talk trades with folks, with Zach LaVine, and if something pops that works for them, they'll make it happen, and that'll be the way it'll go. I kind of expect the same thing with Sabonis, the difference being Sabonis has that extra year salary where LaVine is expiring, and for Sacramento, what you want to be careful of is you don't want to make a trade that kind of messes you up moving forward, because at worst comes to worst, Zach LaVine is still a productive player. It's not like this guy, like we've gotten to this point in the NBA where everybody's either awesome or they're garbage. And it's like, guys, there's like all kinds of room in between on those, and Zach LaVine lives somewhere in the in between. As I said, if you're the Kings, you can't be god-awful to start the year because you don't want to be down in that relegation zone come lottery time. So I think there's a world where they say, yeah, let's keep Zach LaVine. Might help us win a couple games, that we wouldn't have won otherwise with his scoring. We'll continue to try to trade him to the trade deadline. Then that's when you start looking at, all right, can there be a buyout? But here's why I don't know if that'll happen. Under the lottery rules, any team that's over the aprons, they wouldn't be able to sign Zach LaVine because he makes more than the non-taxpayer mid-level. So for Zach LaVine, that's going to eliminate a lot of what should be some of the best teams in the league. And when you take a buyout, you're usually looking at it as, all right, I'm going to play out the rest of the year on a minimum contract, so I want to catch on with someone where I have a chance to win. Now, if there's a team they're not in that situation like Detroit was a year ago, he may say, all right, I can go to Detroit, help them win, be competitive in the playoffs, and then I'll figure out my next move in the summertime. That could be the way that goes, but we'll see. I mean, in this idea of maybe he'll give back a ton of money in a buyout. NBA players, when they want to get free, they'll give back some money. But we're talking about a guy who makes almost $50 million. You're not getting too much of a haircut off that.
Mm-hmm. Keith Smith, nice enough to join us. Keith, have the new CBA rules made the Sabonis and LaVine contracts in some ways more burdensome for their teams than they were when they actually signed them?
Yeah, definitely. There's two things. There's the CBA with the second aprons. Teams are being very conscious of that. It is even teams that are close to it, it's still kind of looming out there as there's almost this de facto hard cap that teams are very, very conscious of. The other thing that's happened, unfortunately, starting with this year, and then it's going to spill over into the next several years, is there was a thought when the NBA signed their new TV contract that we might see 2 or 3 years of 10% cap growth. We only got 1 year of that. And then this year went up about 7%. Now the next year is projected to only go up about 5.5%. So what's happened with the contracts in a standard contract like what Sabonis has, your contract goes up 8% every year. So the contracts are now growing faster than the cap is growing. So you've kind of lessened that margin as those players come up. They start out counting at 35% of the cap, but if their contract grows more than the cap grows, they're going to go up to 36, 37, 38%, and it just gets tough. Now, the good thing with LaVine, he's on an expiring contract. Those contracts always have some level of tradability because teams will look at it and say, all right, we can take on his deal. Same thing with like DeAndre Hunter's contract, because we could take this contract on, maybe move off some money we don't like, and then we're out of it free and clear at the end of the year. So that's something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, Keith, with that being said, you have the 2 expiring contracts for Zach and Hunter, like you said. If you're the Kings, I know people will talk about how, small market and we might not be able to get the big free agent names. But if you're the Kings, trading them, doesn't it depend on what you would get back? Would it have to be something somewhat desirable versus just letting them come off the books and taking your chances in free agency?
Yeah, for sure, because what I always say is you would rather have cap space than bad contracts, because at the very least you can turn your cap space into bad contracts by getting paid in the form of draft picks or young talent to do that. So you might still end up in the same place, but at least you're being paid to take on those bad contracts as you get there. So I think what we're going to see with a team like Sacramento where they are is you're not going to go out right now and be like, hey, just give me the worst contract on your books. Let me just take that thing on for Zach LaVine, and we'll just move on and move about our way here, because that's something where unless you're really going to pay us to do that right now, and that is a contract that carries maybe 2 years or something like that, then we'll just wait, because that opportunity that'll be there again in the summertime, and then you'll pay us in the form of draft picks or whatever to do it. So you want to be very careful. This is where I think sometimes we get caught up in, like, it's a bad contract. If you have a chance to get it off the books, just get it off the books. But you can really mess yourself up for the next couple of seasons if you don't do it in the right way.
Keith, I'd be remiss if I didn't take advantage of the chance here to ask you, since we have you, about the Jaylen Brown trade to the Sixers. I believe, I'm one of the few people, when I saw it, I get it from Boston's view, and obviously I'm in the minority there. I believe you said on X you would not have done it, but you see the reasoning. Did anything Brad Stevens said yesterday alter any of your views on that deal?
Not really, because that was the same mindset that I had with this. And here was my issue with the Jaylen Brown trade. Somewhat was about timing, and it's not about the 3 years he has left under contract, where it's like you could have played this out. But why not wait a week? Why not wait 2 weeks? That trade was still going to be there from Philadelphia. What I wanted to see them do was, let's wait until somebody misses out on LeBron, somebody misses out on some other guy that they were targeting, whether it was via trade or, picking up through the free agent market. And then you go back and see, are they a little bit more willing, whatever they weren't willing to put in the deal today, they're willing to put in the deal tomorrow. But here's the thing that I have also said about this is Brad Stevens and the Celtics front office are smarter than I am. They should have earned everybody's trust by now that they know what they're doing and they're doing things in the right way for the franchise. So I think you just got to let it play out. I think I know his term was optionality, which I know Celtics fans are bristling at because it's like, how many points per game does optionality score? Like, where are we going? And they also don't like that's Rob Pelinka's favorite term to use, and anything that comes out of Los Angeles, Boston doesn't care for it, so that's a problem as well. But I think we're in a position where Paul George can still play. He's still a productive guy, even though he does miss time. His contract is not a good one. So you're just kind of looking at it if you're a Celtics fan and you're kind of waiting. Now what you're doing is you're waiting for the other shoe to drop. But what is coming next, so I can feel a little bit better about this. But what's coming next, it may not happen for another year. So I just urge everybody, you got to be a little bit patient. And then my last part on this is Jaylen Brown is effectively being replaced by Jason Tatum as far as the regular season roster goes, because they only got 13 games out of Jason Tatum. So last regular season. So if you just plug Tatum in for Brown, should be pretty good. Now you've added Paul George, Mitchell Robinson, and whatever they can kind of get out of Mike Conley just as a veteran ball handler. That's a better team than what you had a year ago. So I'd not be surprised if they're a worse team. The challenge is the Eastern Conference has got better, and I don't know that you're better when playoff time rolls around with Paul George in place of Jaylen Brown.
Gotcha. Keith Smith, before we let you go, I just wanted to clarify for Kings fans, and we're not saying anything will happen. It's unlikely anything does happen, but Jalen Duren, there's still a potential path there for the Kings in a sign and trade, and Kuminga, they also could make a run at him if they chose to with the non-taxpayer mid-level, right? I'm right on those. There are two avenues there they could explore if they wanted to.
Yeah, absolutely. Those paths are still open until something's done with those two guys. I think the Kings are still sitting in a spot where they could get involved very easily.
Keith, thank you very much. We appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks, Keith. See you in Vegas.
There you go.
That's
Kuminga
right.
watch back on.
Kuminga watch back on. Duren watch back on. It's all on.
Well, I don't know how much of that, and the Kings wouldn't have the non-taxpayer MLE of $15 million available unless they stretched DeMar's $10 million, which we don't know for sure if they're going to do that. But if they had that available, and if you're Kuminga and you have any interest in playing here, why would you take the 10 a year for 2 years from the Lakers? What?
Right.
Because
you get in the teens, right?
Yeah.
With the 1 year here.
Yeah.
Either way, you're looking at another prove-it deal. How many?
A deal that was designed to tear up.
He's saying, no, don't tear it up.
What do you think of the Piston stuff now? When you mentioned that trade a few moments ago, whenever it was, I thought, that's kind of interesting. But Pistons might be setting something up, creating cap space.
Yeah, I don't think they're making the right decision. Let me say that. I don't think they're making the right decision. But outside of that, as far as because it's interesting because as that was going on, I saw Brett Siegel, and he kind of poured water on it a little bit, but really just saying it was a typical move.
Poured water on what exactly?
Just this being a Windhorst situation, a precursor. Yeah.
Okay.
He says the Pistons are freeing up roughly $7 million in extra funds needed to complete their recent transactions, and then sign Jalen Duren by trading Karis LeVert to the Bucks and Taurean Prince and Gary Harris. Simple cost-cutting maneuver by the Pistons. So, yeah, that's where it is. And then somebody says, is this confirmation that Duren is going back to Detroit? And Brett says, where else would he be going? He has no market. And just because this person brought up the Kings, I'm holding out hope that the Kings can sign him. Brett, their only path to doing so would be a sign and trade involving Sabonis and probably Monk, but that's not happening.
Okay.
So we'll see. I mean, again, that price tag is the price tag.
Well said.
If
the pick is the pick.
If the pick is the pick, if you want Duren, we'll take Sabonis, but it's going to come with some picks for sure. And after yesterday, people not wanting to move on, for Peyton Watson.
We're not talking about Peyton Watson here.
I'm just joking. But honestly, I will say it's very hard to understand. Because think about it like this, Whitey. These deals that come in, they'll just start to break your brain. Like that Walker Kessler deal, it broke my brain. right? If we would have put that, if I would have said that on the air, people would have said that I was crazy.
People would have said, I couldn't follow all that.
Right. Well, that too. So you really
People
never
would have
know.
said, how did Javier get a full-time job there? And bless you, Javier.
But you really never know what these trades are going to look like, how protected these picks can be. You never know. I'm not saying to do it. I want to see Keegan ball out this season. You know I love Keegan. I just thought it was interesting after
acting.
No, I just thought it was interesting. Trey Murphy, they still want 14 picks. The Pelicans do. I think I saw, did you see they finally lowered the amount for Trey Murphy to 3?
The Pelicans lowered the
price. But I think they still wanted 2 for Herb Jones.
New low price.
For Herb Jones. Can we stop? Like, they're annoying me now, the Pelicans. But as far as all the other moves, it did feel, and we'll, obviously this is going to be up on YouTube if you're just now tuning in, Keith Smith Spa Track. But the Zach LaVine piece of it, where it was, hey, even with a buyout, he'd be too expensive. Basically, if he can make himself available, but he'd still be giving up a decent amount of cash because he'd have to play on the minimum, kind of like what Bradley Beal did, is how I thought about it if he wants to get out this year. And the same way, the Kings might be thinking it's only one more year. Zach LaVine could be thinking it's only one more year. Why give up the cash? You guys got to play me. We don't want to be in the relegation sensation.
What is the status, and hopefully you can give your answer here when we come right back. What is the status of Alan Stow's Kuminga watch right now after we talk to Keith Smith? We'll find out. Yeah. We'll find out.
Okay.
Also, we'll find out what's cooking. Got some mid-season grades for the A's and the Giants. They ain't too tasty, I'll tell you that. But all that is next on Sactown Sports.
After 2 seasons in Sacramento, the Kings have parted ways with forward DeMar DeRozan. With one of the team's top scorers and veteran leaders now gone, who will step up to fill DeRozan's shoes?
Your exclusive home for Kings basketball.
Sactown Sports 1140.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Dirk Verdorn in the KCRA3 Weather Center, and clear skies this evening with a bit of a southwest wind, cooling temperatures off into the 50s by tomorrow morning. So your Wednesday will start off with maybe a few low clouds and then plenty of sunshine and daytime highs in the low 90s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
Oh, the Sacramento heat. Right now, get your AC professionally tuned up for as low as just $59 and enjoy your summer nice and cool. Plumbing, electrical, heating, and air, Bonnie.com. Summer restrictions apply. License 696-355.
The Tag, Polonese, Sharp, Schumann, or our own Greg Vaughn. Golf and concert sponsorship are still available at goldrushclassic.org. That's goldrushclassic.org. The Gold Rush Classic is sponsored by Guzetta Jewelers, Roseville's premier jewelry store. They've got you covered for any occasion.
Progressive knows you've got plenty of things to worry about.
What time does the kids' practice end? How long has that check engine light been on? Are takeout containers microwave safe?
So the last thing you should have to worry about is what to do if something unexpected happens on the road. That's why if you're ever in a major accident, Progressive's accident response can detect it and send help. It's just one less thing to worry about.
How long does chicken last in the fridge?
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Limited availability in California. Driver is responsible for emergency and towing charges not covered by the policy.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Summer's finally here, and we're kicking it off with a whole lot of free. Free brake pads with Duralast rotors. Free oil filter with 5 quarts of oil. Free Armor All wipes with Armor All glass cleaner, and more. More free, so you can have more summer. Celebrate free at AutoZone. Now through July 27th. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Order up, Sacramento.
And for you, sir?
I will have the gabagool. The dinner bell rang, and it's time to find out what's on the menu.
Lunch? Oh, you gotta be kidding. Lunch is for whips.
So fire up the grill and crank up the burners, because it's time to find out what's cooking on the Drive Guys.
Give me all the bacon and eggs you have. Do you understand?
Here's Whitey Gleason and Alan Stiles.
I'll have what she's having.
All right, Alan, what do we got? What's the status before we get to the mid-season report cards? The status of Kuminga Watch, I don't know, 3.0, 4.0?
It's not that hot.
Really?
It's not that hot right now. We got to see what happens with this Laker thing. If the Lakers say, hey, we're not moving from 20 over 2 years, then we're back.
I don't think he'll take that.
Yeah, then we're back. But there comes a point where, he might be saying, I'd love to have a 2-year deal versus a 1-year deal, but if it's, a couple mil less and now I'm stuck, I'd rather just wait it out. And this team I know has always liked me, so let's see what we can do.
Yeah. I don't think anybody right now is in position to give him the type of money that presumably he wants, and that, as a matter of fact, he got last year.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it just it feels like it's Groundhog Day. I almost asked Keith to start.
Is Alan Stiles getting worn down by Kuminga Watch?
No, I'm getting worn down by the fact that nobody ever has any cap space. So we're finding Kuminga is finding himself in like the dead ball era. I think there are some things that he needs to clean up, and he's got to figure out a path, but he's also in a rough time frame where nobody has money. So it's tough right now. Kuminga Watch is not that hot right now.
All right. Okay.
It could
I'm
get
a little
hotter.
Surprised. I'm keeping an eye on it.
It could get higher.
Yeah. So it's on the burner, but the burner either maybe it was on or maybe it's going to be turned on, but the water is it's not close to boiling.
For now, yes.
Okay.
For now.
All right. As far as the midseason grades, baseball, real quickly here. ESPN has midseason grades. Only 2 teams get an A+. They are A's and Giants? No. They are the White Sox and the Brewers, A+ for both of them.
That makes sense.
Yeah. How about Los Gigantes? Alan, I'm sorry, but the Mets and the Giants are the 2 teams that get an F.
Man.
Failed. It says everything pretty much has gone wrong under Tony Vitello. So, yeah, those 2 teams getting the F. As for the Athletics, what grade would you give them?
Oh, probably a C+ or B-.
C-.
Yeah.
C-.
Yeah.
The A's were 500 and a half game out of first place on June 19th, following a wild 12-11 win over the Angels, in which they scored in each of the final 5 innings. That would have earned them a solid B, but they've gone 3-11 since, as the pitching staff gave up 86 runs and 29 home runs in 14 games.
Man.
Nick Kurtz, Shea Langoliers, deserving all-stars. Nick Kurtz is a superstar, but the A's own a minus 72 run differential as the pitching starts to splinter in the heat of Sacramento and Las Vegas summers.
Where are they at with the wild card? They're still right there in the mix, right?
Let's see, Alan. I don't know. It depends what you consider the mix. Aren't they around? I'll have to check it here. I want to say they're around 4 out, and they have been losing.
4 out?
Wild card. Let's see. Give me my wild card. Wild card. The Athletics are exactly 4 games out of the wild card, but it's Yankees, Guardians, Rangers, and you got Houston ahead of them. Minnesota, Toronto, Baltimore, and the Athletics at 41 and 49. 4 games out of the wild card.
Man.
They've lost 3 in a row.
And this thing is that I don't think, as an organization, obviously the players want to win. As an organization, I think they look at this and go, you know what? We're just biding our time till we get to Vegas.
You've kind of said that before. You really think they don't want to make the playoffs in Sacramento?
I don't think it's really that important to them. I think it's very important to Mark Kotze and the staff. I don't think they have to spend money to do that, right? You would have to go out and bring in players. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe at the deadline, they make some big moves.
If they go get him, you know who.
Who's that, Alan?
They go get Webby.
Webby?
Yeah. They wouldn't.
That would tell me that they're serious about it, but I don't think the Giants would do that. I don't know that I don't think Webb would want any part of that.
Well, I think he grew up an A's fan, if I'm not mistaken.
I know, but still.
You do Webb
you want
for
any
hey,
pitcher?
Let's just keep the train going. Yesterday it was Keegan for Peyton Watson. Today, Leo for Webby.
Okay. You want to trade Leodalis DeVries for Logan Webb?
I would think about it. I mean, you'd probably want more. Well, here's the
as
thing.
Who? You think about it as who?
If I'm the Giants,
yeah, of course.
Yeah, I would need more. I would probably need at least one or two outer prospects because you have, I think, 2 or 3 more years of control with Logan Webb.
Yeah, the other thing, in all fairness to the A's, is it's not like they're right at 500 a game out. They're 8 under.
What, Jay? You said you wouldn't do it if you were the A's?
No.
Jay.
I wouldn't either.
You have 3 more years of control with Logan Webb.
And then
what do I have with DeVries?
Yeah.
He's not even
10.
He hasn't been up yet.
Well, yes, but look, Logan, based on, you get about 2 years in Vegas with him, and then you can re-sign him. Wow.
I don't think the A's, as we've talked about basketball over the last couple of weeks, I don't think the A's believe they're that close to winning a championship.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're not even that close to getting into the postseason
Playoffs,
right now.
Well, I wouldn't do it anyway.
Good for you.
Stay home, Webb.
Should be a lifer.
He should. I don't think he's going to be, just because the Giants don't know what they're doing.
If they had Webb, and it doesn't look like that's going to happen, but do you think he'd be a draw? Would he boost attendance?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. In Sacramento, for sure. I don't know how much that travels. I don't know anything about Vegas. I don't know anything about Vegas, but
here.
Oh, yeah. Webby Day?
Because I think the bloom's coming off the rose here. Tennis has been up this year, which is
I haven't been seeing any
nice.
pictures, so I don't know.
I think at this point, with the A's kind of fading, I think they're going to be hard-pressed to keep those numbers up. Maybe I'm wrong.
Webby Day on 916 Day? Come on, baby. I'll get us all tickets to that.
That is what's cooking for today, Alan. So I appreciate that you're a dreamer.
Hey, man. There's definitely a world, okay? Well, actually, where I've already been in trouble. Not me personally, but, the big conversation today was Jeff Passan and Kylie McDaniel. They put out the top 100 trade candidates for Major League Baseball. The Giants have 7 dudes on there.
Really?
And you know who jumped up to number 7? Probably the most marketable player on the team. Jung-Hoo Lee. I don't think so. I'm sorry to whoever that offends, but I don't think so. No. No.
All right. Oh, one other thing that's cooking is your guy last night. We haven't talked about him enough, Alan. Markel Sutton.
Come on.
Yeah.
Finally. We were supposed to do 2 hours.
I know.
2 hours on Markel Sutton. Press the 3-point button. That's what I'm working on.
Yeah.
6'8", can shoot it. Athletic.
24 points last night in the Kings win. 6 of 14 floor, 4 of 8 on threes. Had 6 rebounds. And Allen is, according to what he posted on X, he's ready to secure, reserve, I should say, a spot in the rotation for Markel Sutton.
And I tell you what, I was this close to asking Keith about the two-way situation for the Kings.
Why didn't you? That's on
but
you.
I knew Jay would say, dude, do not waste. Do not
Jay
waste
would
these
not have
questions.
done that. You know why?
I think it's a good question.
You know why he wouldn't have done that?
Why?
He had somebody in there and he was talking and he wasn't
I
able to.
could have snuck it out.
Richard, somebody was talking to
That's
me. He
right.
wasn't able to even give us his
Free
full attention.
Sutton.
Yeah.
Two-way for Sutton. Do right by him.
You don't think that you're getting a little carried away with the Summer League vapors here?
No. Not at all. I think I could be even more hyped up.
How do you envision him?
Well, we were just talking about Peyton. So you take a guy, and I know he's older than Peyton Watson, but same body type, right? I think Son's a little bit thicker, right? A little bit older.
The guy that just came out of college is older than Peyton Watson, who's been in the league for 4 years?
Yes. So that's more polish. That's more polish, okay? I just think that he can get after it. We just talked about it, fellas. We don't have a archetype like that. We don't have that.
And what
Precious
is that, the 3-and-D classic?
The classic 3-and-D, a little bit longer, a Jada McDaniels type. I'm not saying he's going to be Jada McDaniels, but you don't have that. Precious is not that.
No, he's not.
Keegan is kind of that.
Keegan's pretty much right there.
Yeah, Keegan is that.
Yeah.
But we need more. Mm-hmm. We need more. Iron sharpens iron. And keep this dude. Don't let him go off in Vegas while we're out there. Oh, don't let him go off while we're out there in Vegas, man. Oh, that dude, he's got something.
You're running out of roster spots, aren't you?
Well, somebody got to move over. I'm not going to say who, but I got a name in mind.
Emmanuel Sharp's, we know he's going to the Hall of Fame, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
a couple Summer League games.
Back in the day, we used to call
make room in Springfield for him.
Devin, Keon, right? It was the Clamp Squad. And now we're bringing back the Clamp Squad Part 2 with all the defenders that the Kings have.
Who are those two guys you mentioned?
Well, they're no longer on the team.
The Clamp Squad?
Yeah, they clamp you up.
Devin and Keon?
We had it all planned out. Keon, Devin, Neek in there, Keegan. It's all part of the Clamp Squad. That's right. Clamp you up. And now we have a new version of it.
It's not as catchy as like Splash Brothers, but...
No, it's also not alive anymore, but we're trying to bring it back.
You got the Bean Boys and a Clamp Squad,
Oh,
too.
yeah. Clamp Squad 2.0. Let's go. Lock it down for show.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is.
Were you a Markel Sutton guy before last night, or did last night open your eyes?
Oh, it definitely opened my eyes. For sure. 209 says, Alan, does Sutton fit the 916 Knicks model? Let me think about who he is, but I like your thought process, 209. You get it. Mm-hmm. You get it. Got to think about who he is, though.
All right, we'll see if Alan comes up with that. Also, what do the Kings do with Malik Monk? The answer is simple, and it's next on Sactown Sports.
Everyone loves to be outside, and so do mosquitoes. Protect yourself against mosquitoes and West Nile virus by following these simple tips. At least once a week, look around your yard and drain stagnant water from any containers where mosquitoes can breed. Remember to use an effective mosquito repellent, especially at dawn and dusk when mosquitoes are most active. Close all doors and be sure screens are in good working condition. At the Mosquito and Vector Control District, we're here to help. Visit us at fightthabite.net.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729. Or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Sactown Sports is taking over NBA Summer League. Join Jason Ross, Whitey Gleason, and Alan Stiles as they broadcast live from Las Vegas, July 13th through the 17th. Presented by Power Business Technology. Over the air, online, and on location, Sactown Sports 1140 is your eyes and ears for all things Sacramento Kings this summer.
Your exclusive home for Kings basketball.
Sactown Sports 1140.
You know, I used to think all money managers were the same until I spoke with Fisher Investments.
Really? How different are they?
Fisher's investment counselors are dedicated to service, not sales, keeping clients up to date on their portfolio.
Well, they probably just invest in a bunch of mutual funds like I do.
Nope. They build a tailored portfolio based on their clients' personal goals, helping them stay on track for a comfortable retirement.
Well, they must make commissions selling products.
Actually, Fisher doesn't sell any commission-based products. They're a fiduciary, and they believe that's a conflict.
Then they have some kind of complex fee structure.
Nope. Fisher has a simple, transparent fee that's a percentage of their client's portfolio. So they do better when their clients do better.
It sounds like Fisher really is different.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Fisher Investments, clearly different wealth management. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com/different. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Wow, what is all this? These screens, the food.
All for the game, bro.
Let us pitch in.
No need. I'm saving $1,000 bundling my wireless and internet with T-Mobile. I've got it all covered.
Goal!
Here to score big with T-Mobile. Families save up to $1,000 a year when they bundle 5G home internet with 4 phone lines on Experience Beyond. Compared to regular rates after third line free on Experience Beyond plan with internet bundle discount via monthly bill credits and auto-pay discount. Credit stop if you cancel or change plans.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Summer's finally here, and we're kicking it off with a whole lot of free. Free brake pads with Duralast rotors. Free oil filter with 5 quarts of oil. Free Armor All wipes with Armor All glass cleaner, and more. More free, so you can have more summer. Celebrate free at AutoZone. Now through July 27th. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Your afternoon home for Kings Talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
We begin this hour talking with Keith Smith from the Spot Track, and he was telling us that he saw a way for the Kings to potentially still be alive in the Jalen Duren sweepstakes, if you will, that potentially they could swing a sign and trade. But it sounds like now, we know he was talking to us just moments after we found out about a Pistons trade that had been made. And it sounds like, Alan, he is now saying, that is Keith Smith is saying on X that the Pistons are probably keeping Jalen Duren.
Yeah, he's basically saying with the different contracts from this sign and trade and some of the acquisitions, he's got the Pistons at about $42.8 million. Under the luxury tax, that's enough room to give Jalen Duren a 25% of the cap max without going into the tax, which obviously was a larger issue. And look, it's all fine and good because at least we have some type of movement. We literally were talking to Keith and we hadn't seen or heard anything since the end of last week. You know, so obviously the conversation goes differently if they had done this about 2 hours earlier or whatever it is. So it seems like they were trying to work through some things. And that was the initial report, that they did want to hold on to him. They were just trying to figure out some ways to do it and not break their bank. So feels like he should get within that range that he initially wanted.
I have been wondering if the Kings would pivot hard back at Kuminga once they were definitely out of the Jalen Duren situation. So, and no one's told me that. It's just something I've been curious about. So I'll be interested to see if that happens now. We don't even know for certain if they're out of the Jalen Duren running, but it appears that they are. So I don't know. How interested are they in Kuminga? We know there were reports last week, over the weekend, that they had circled back. But, some of that could be just your due diligence. Like, just give Kuminga a call and say hi and let him know we still know he's out there.
Yeah, I mean,
we'll see.
Definitely doesn't seem like there are a bunch of teams knocking down Kuminga's door.
Right.
So, which I know someone's out there saying, so why are we interested in him? Because somebody always says that, and you're probably not wrong.
Well,
to be fair.
Because apparently, if they are, it's because B.J. Armstrong really likes him.
Right. Yeah. So I would be surprised now. Whitey looks like things like this can kind of reinvigorate conversations. Now I feel as if, I don't know, as my mom always says, you don't put things out there into the universe, but I got a weird feeling Duran might be off the table by the time we're doing our show tomorrow. I just have a weird feeling. I know Keith had said, hey, it could take for a while because we know how these restricted free agents can be, but now that there's been some movement, I don't know, I'm looking at it a little bit differently.
One more kind of nuts and bolts things with the Kings roster, and I know we're a long ways away even from camp, but we've had conversations about Malik. We've had conversations about a backup point guard for the Kings, and I know I'm not the first to point this out, but to me, I see them as one and the same. To me, it makes perfect sense, especially given that you have to try to win some games this year. You don't want to get relegated. Right now, the perfect role for Malik is the backup point guard role.
Yeah.
Especially because, we've been wondering, well, who are they going to get? And I know Isaiah Stevens had a nice shooting game last night. I don't know if he's the answer at the NBA level. I hope he is for his sake, but he's very small. But Malik has done that. He can do that. He's still, if you don't move off of him, what can he give you as a backup point guard, a guy coming off the bench to give some scoring? And he's got, a sense. He's led teams and can get you into a set. I think he could be really valuable, perhaps most valuable to the Kings in that role.
Yeah, I'm curious how much we'll see for a couple of different reasons. And I know Acuff had some really solid defensive plays in last night's game, but I don't know how much we'll be see. It's already going to be interesting with Acuff and Levine, and it's already going to be interesting with Levine and Monk. I don't know how much we'll see, not just for defensive reasons, but also offensive. I don't know how much we'll see Malik and Acuff together.
Yeah, that's a good point.
All three of them, I think it's going to be really the combination of the three of those guys playing together, because just because you're keeping Zach LaVine on the roster, that doesn't mean he's getting 35 minutes a night. So I do think there's a world where, hey, and I know as we get into the weeds here during the season, it could turn into, hey, if Acuff's on the floor, Neek got to be on the floor. Or if Acuff's on the floor, then Sharp has to be on the floor. I don't think there's going to be a lot of combinations of Levine, Acuff. Levine and Acuff you're going to have to see a little bit, but yeah, throwing Malik in there, I think it'll be for mostly backup point guard duties.
One other takeaway from the California Classic, which is now concluded as we get ready for Summer League proper, and we will be there. Dylan Cardwell, like I said earlier, he really played great in the sense of you want your second years in Summer League to play like, whoa, that guy really shouldn't be there. And he played like that. But he's still, the one thing, people say the free throw shooting, and I think there's a lot of promise there. I know he had one a couple games ago. It's like he just about missed everything, but I like his form. I think he can shoot free throws, but he commits way too many fouls. I know he knows that.
Yeah.
But I think, did he have 6 fouls last night? Yeah. He just commits way too many fouls. There's going to be times when they're going to need him on the floor because of all the defensive reasons you just talked about. And you can't keep a guy on the floor when he's committing fouls all the time.
Well, I think these are going to be some of the changes and the growing pains that these guys are going to have to deal with, right? Dylan Cardwell obviously wasn't trying to foul out of games last season, but how much did it really matter, right? For him, it did, but from a team perspective, it didn't really matter.
You can see him last year maybe at times like, I get 6, I might as well use
it.
Yeah.
Right. So now it does, and I think it starts here, and as, he's been very, very open about just, getting better as a player. But I would say, I think they get 10 or something ridiculous in Summer League. I think that they probably sit down with him at some point and say, hey, you're here to work on X, Y, and Z. I'm not saying that they haven't already, but you don't need to be committing 6 fouls in a Summer League game.
Speaking of using all your fouls, have I ever told you the Shasky story, the Mitch Richmond Shasky story?
No.
Okay. Mitch Richmond told us this on this station years ago. We were talking about Don Nelson, and he said, I'll tell you a story about Nelly. And he said the Warriors were up in Seattle, and he said for some reason, and they were winning by a lot. And I looked all this up, and you can find evidence like, okay, that's all real. This really happened. For some reason, Nelly was irritated with Olden Polynice, with the Sonics. So Nelly told a guy, and Mitch didn't tell us who it was, but later he let it slip. He said, I don't care what you do. You got 6 fouls. I want you to use them all on Polynice tonight. The game was out of hand. They already had clinched it. And Shasky it was John Shasky was the player. Didn't come near him. Didn't foul him. Didn't foul him at all. After the game, the Warriors are happy they won. Nelly is really upset. Next day, they have practice. They're doing shooting around before practice. Then Nelly says, all right, everybody, gather around. And he had the player, Shasky, like running suicides in front of the whole team. Mm-hmm. Then he goes, all right, gather around. I want you to wave bye-bye to him because I just cut his ass.
Wow.
And Mitch Richmond was laughing. And he said, that was Nelly. And the funny thing was, Mitch didn't say who the player was, but then at the end he goes, hey, everybody, I want you to wave bye-bye to Shasky because I just cut his ass.
Wow. And they won.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite NBA stories.
That is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for being with us. Are you back with us tomorrow, Alan?
I am, and apparently Maxime Reynaud could be back with the squad. They just announced their Las Vegas Summer League roster, and he's on it.
How about that?
That's how he's
supposed to be on it.
Well, he's on it.
Yeah.
That's what they said he was.
Mm-hmm. He played well for it.
Well,
sources say.
Well, Frankie put the eye emojis, so there was, I think, questions with the FIBA and all that.
All right.
So he's back.
You going to X and you're going to confirm that?
I will confirm
I
it.
would say do that.
I'll confirm it in about 2 minutes here.
All right. Appreciate that. More great sports talk coming up. Sactown Sports. Thanks for listening.